From fun in the sun to business in the cage, it's time for baseball for the first of a home-and-home between the Wareham Gatemen and the Cotuit Kettleers. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kettle Talk, the official pregame show of the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm John Perez. The Kettleers are coming off their most impressive win of the season and good all-around effort. Let's just look at the checklist. Solid pitching? Check. Timely hitting? Check. Clean fielding? Check. The Kettleers did all three of those things in their win against Chatham, and with that said, let's take a look at the highlights. Chatham makes its first trip of the year to Cotuit to take on the Kettleers. Cal Becker from Sonoma State goes for the Kettleers. Nick Meservey from Seattle goes for the Anglers. Top of the first inning, Becker in some trouble with runners on first and second. Becker gets Donovan Casey to hit into a double play. DJ Artis would end up at third with 2 outs. The next batter, Pat Mathis, hits a dribble to first. Genesis scoops it up, feeds Becker at first, and the threat is over. Top 3, the double steal is on. Jake Palomaki hits one in the hole. John Aiello scores, 1-0 Chatham. Bottom half of the inning, Cal Stevenson at the plate. Meservey throws a wild pitch. It skips past Gunnar Troutwire of Wichita State. Fellow shocker Grayson Genesta crosses the plate to tie the game at 1. Top 4 with runners on the corners. John Aiello hits a grounder to first. Genesta fires to second, but Connor Simmons doesn't cover. A run comes in, 2-1 Angler. Bottom 5 with the bases jacked. Alonzo Jones shows everyone that he shops at the gap. He ropes a ball into right center field. Everyone in pinstripe scores. Jones to third. Kettleers up 4-2. Next batter, Tim Susnera up at the plate. Alonzo Jones comes in to score off the wild pitch. 5-2 Cotuit. Later in that inning, Pat Dorian skips a ball in the hole. Ryan Hagan from Mercer comes in to score. 6-2 Cotuit. Bottom of the 7th, with Genesta on at first, Jackson Klein at the plate, and the Stanford Jr. puts this one into orbit, his first home run of the year, and it gives Cotuit an 8-2 lead. Ryan Rigby from Mississippi State would close this one out. The Kettleers end a 2-game skid and beat Chatham 8-2.
First pitch I got a fastball and down and in. I feel like I just missed it, fouled it off. Kind of came back with the same type pitch, and luckily came through and drove it in the gap. So it's a great feeling. I feel like I was kind of due for one of those, and we just had a lot of guys come through today. I mean, Cal Stevenson had a really big at bat right before that. Had a chance to bunt him over, and he stuck through that bat and got on base and gave me an opportunity. So, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to play on both sides, and I feel like I'm an infielder. So, I mean, I've got some reps out there, but hopefully I have more to come. So. Yeah, it's always nice to come through and kind of have that lead to where you don't have to panic in the 9th. But I mean, I feel like we've been steadily improving the way we play the game, and it's starting to show up result-wise, so that's always nice.
Well, you always hope you get one. In this league, you never know. They had a young man started the game. He's got a pretty good arm from Seattle. But, again, everybody sometimes breaks a game open. And, we have not had a lot of what I call clutch hits, but Alonzo gave us a clutch hit and gave us a chance to open it up. And then we got a couple other base hits. But, today's probably the first day we've combined hitting and pitching and reasonable defense and a little bit of base running. We're hoping to, we've got nothing to lose by running the bases more like I like to do. But when you're always behind like we were early, it's tough to run the bases. But we're going to try to run the bases quite a bit more.
So here are the scores from Wednesday night. Yarmouth Dennis over Bourne 4-1. Will Gaddis from Furman was exceptional. 8 shutout innings, only 3 hits. He struck out 6. Deion Stafford Jr. from St. Joe's in Philly went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. There was no pitching in the Brewster-Hyannis game. The Whitecaps had a 10-3 lead after 2 innings and held on to win 13-10. Nicholas Dunn from Maryland, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Logan Warmouth from North Carolina hit his 3rd home run of the year, a 3-run shot. Ryan Noda hit a home run as well, home run number 5. Orleans outpitched Harwich and won 4-1. The Firebirds used 6 different pitchers to piece together the victory, and the bullpen threw 4 2/3 of shutout ball, only allowing 2 hits and striking out 7, but more importantly, no walks. Zach Kirtley from St. Mary's hit a 2-run homer, his 2nd of the year. A lot of talk has been about the Harwich pitching staff, and deservedly so, but Falmouth can pitch with anyone. The Commodores beat Wareham 4-0 at Spillane Field on Wednesday. Jake Bird from UCLA, 2nd time this season, he threw 6 shutout innings. In his first start of the season, he didn't allow a hit against the YD Red Sox. So here are the standings. Harwich in first, Orleans and Brewster tied for second, Chatham and YD both under 500. In the West, Bourne on top of Wareham by a game and a half. Falmouth, the only other team above 500. Hyannis had its 2-game winning streak snapped, and Cotuit still 4 games behind the Harbor Hawks. Here with the son of Cotuit manager Mike Roberts, Brian Roberts, who might have known, played 14 years in the major leagues with the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Yankees. Also played with the Chatham A's, and you came in the other day, had an opportunity to speak to Coach Schiffner, who's been around for a long time. What are some memories that you've had playing at Chatham?
A lot of great memories. I mean, the Cape is a special experience, for everybody that is blessed to have the opportunity to do it, and I was no different. I love Chatham. To see Schiff still over there after 24 years, I think he told me, is pretty amazing. And we won the championship in '98, and it was a lot of fun. We were kind of reminiscing about facing Ben Sheets and Barry Zito in the finals against Wareham. And, that's the kind of talent and the kind of caliber of players you're playing against, and it really kind of draws the best out of everybody. It's a great experience.
You're on the other side of this now, I guess sort of as a special coach for today, just speaking to the players about base running and just going through the ringer of getting to the major leagues. So what are a couple of constants that you've seen that players today have come up and asked you about and that you've been able to shed onto them?
Well, yeah, we did. We talked a lot about base running for a while, stealing bases, just being a good base runner, that sort of stuff. Then we talked a little bit about just the game in general and how do you get to where you want to be, which is the major leagues. Obviously, for most people, that's where they are, the end goal or what they want to try to shoot for. And we talked a lot about just kind of learning to deal with failure. This is a game of failure, and it's hard to deal with that sometimes. It's a game of adjustments, so you constantly have to make adjustments, and you're going to go from one place to the next, and you're going to have some failures. You're going to struggle, and then you're going to make those adjustments. You'll get better. And two, and it's just you have to be willing to outwork the guy beside you. And usually the hardest workers get the farthest. And so are you willing to make those sacrifices and that sort of thing to get to where you want to go?
I guess for you personally, I read somewhere that you said that you were burned out after your junior year of high school, still went through it, played for your dad, and then he wasn't there at UNC anymore. You transferred, and then obviously, in Team USA, you're behind somebody on the depth chart, and you continue to fight and to fight and to fight. So how did you keep your spirits up in where times looked dire, to be honest?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't real big in high school and weighed like 145, 150 pounds, and I did kind of get a little bit burned out at one point. My dad continued to try and at least urge me to keep going, and I was fortunate that he was a college coach at the time and had the opportunity to go play at North Carolina, and my interest peaked again pretty big time, probably about the summer before college, after my senior year, and then had some success, but also had some struggles and some things that you deal with, being behind maybe Adam Everett on the USA team or coming up to the Cape and hitting 230 or 240 and struggling. And but I also had a lot of success in the college level. So you kind of go, it's like a roller coaster, and you have to learn to deal with those things if you're going to continue to move forward. I think it's just something that everybody goes through, and it makes you better in the end if you can push through.
I guess individually, obviously being in the American League East for all those years, you had to deal with a lot of good pitchers that were good at holding on, particularly Andy Pettit. And now I've heard through the grapevine he balked a couple of times, and I mean, it's up to you, to say whether you won or not. But, what was a success? What did you have to do to get a good jump off of a pitcher like that, or what went through, and what was your thought process when you're on base?
Yeah, there were a lot of really good veteran pitchers that were in the league, in the American League East when I was coming up, and Andy Pettit, Mike Messina, Roger Clemens, all these guys that had been around a long time, and I learned a lot from them. I learned some through some failure and through some successes of learning how to get jumps and kind of playing the mind game with older guys that have been doing it for a long time. That's the great part about the game of baseball is how much you can learn from other people and watching other people and being around guys that have been doing it for a long time. It was a challenge, something that I think I'll always look back at and certainly enjoy competing against those kind of guys and what I did learn from them.
You're loved by Baltimore fans, and you were in the peak of the Red Sox and Yankee years. For yourself, how do you keep yourself focused and not want to leave Baltimore at that time? Because I'm sure it was testy, but you never publicly demanded a trade or anything like that. How do you keep yourself, down to earth and level to stay in Baltimore?
Well, they went through the ups and downs with me as well. The organization was great when when I got called up in 2001, from then till kind of 2003 or 4, I struggled going up and down to the minor leagues, and they kind of stuck with me and continued to give me the opportunities, and eventually traded Jerry Hairston and gave me the starting job. So yeah, I think loyalty is a big thing. My dad kind of always taught me that, my parents, my family. Um, and the organization, the Angelos family, they were always just really good to me and my family. So I didn't have a desire to go anywhere else. I just had a desire to win more. And unfortunately, as you said, we kind of got caught up in the Red Sox and the Yankee era, and they had some really good teams in those times, and we lost more games than I would have liked. But I wouldn't trade the experience of being in one place for that long for anything, really.
And I guess just a couple more. You go to the Yankees. Derek Jeter's last year, obviously played against him all those years. But what is he like as a teammate that many people don't know, because he's kind of guarded in his own right?
He's funny. He's kind of a comedian, a clown. He really loves to be on the field. And I don't think I realized how much fun he has out there. A lot of times you just kind of see the serious Derek Jeter nature. But in spring training, in batting practice, and in the locker room, that's the kind of, you see the real personality come out, not necessarily the guarded one that you see some other times in public or maybe on the field. And he really just enjoys life. He enjoys being around the game, and he treats everyone with just the utmost respect. He's so humble for where his stature in the game is. It's really amazing.
And then I guess the last one with the Orioles. You weren't there in his heyday, but what was it like, I guess, taking some things from Cal Ripken Jr.?
Yeah, I had the fortunate opportunity for my rookie year to be Cal's last year. Kind of the same with Derek, and to experience both of those guys in their final season was something that I learned a lot from. The way they both handled it. Cal just handled himself so impeccably when it came to just dealing with fans, when it came to dealing with media, when it came to all the attention that he had. And then I think what I learned from both those guys is attention to detail. They do things by routine the same way every single day. They hit off the tee every day. They take their ground balls the same way every day. They don't take anything for granted just because they've been doing it for that long. That's how they got there, and that's how they always stayed there, was making sure that they stayed true to the fundamentals of the game.
Brian, it was a pleasure. That's Brian Roberts. We'll have starting lineups coming up right after this.
Go!
From fun in the sun to business in the cage, it's time for baseball for the first of a home-and-home between the Wareham Gatemen and the Cotuit Kettleers. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kettle Talk, the official pregame show of the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm John Perez. The Kettleers are coming off their most impressive win of Cotuit Kettleers, and we'll give you the starting lineup now. First for the visiting Wareham Gatemen, Joey Bastosek from George Washington leads off. Cole Freeman from LSU will be playing second base. Alex Destino from left field in South Carolina. Colton Shaver gets his first start behind the plate in quite some time from BYU. Gavin Sheets, the first baseman out of Wake Forest. Robbie Metz in right field from George Washington. Grand Prix Wenson Giorentano and Jake Walter sees the Kettleers for the second time this year. For Cotuit, we'll give you their starting lineups. Genista continues to be in that leadoff role. Jackson Klein, Stevenson, Jones, Brody, Cisnera, Pat Dorian at third base today. Jason DeLay behind the dish. And Ryan Hagan will round it out with Keith Regala on the mound. Aiden Doyle and Jason Dora will have the call the rest of the way. This is John Perez signing off. You've been listening to Kettle Talk, the official pregame show of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Thanks so much, John. It's a cloudy day for baseball at Lowell Park. Kettleers have taken the field in their red uniforms, since it is a Friday evening ball game tonight in Cotuit. And the Kettleers have a chance to start a winning streak. First time in a while that they've had that opportunity. They're coming off a win against Chatham on Wednesday, 8-2. They defeated the Anglers. And now the Wareham Gatemen come to town to face off against Keith Regala.
Well, they are going out tonight, and they have changed into something red. The Kettleers are back in action after an off day. And it's a good opportunity for them, like you mentioned, Jason, to start a winning streak. They've really, even though they necessarily haven't shown it in the win and loss column, they've been playing better as of late. They're 2-2 in their last 4 games, and they're back at home here at Lowell Park, where they are 3-6 on the season. All 3 of their wins this year have come at home. So Mike Roberts and the Kettleers certainly have to like playing here at Lowell Park.
Before this game starts, let's just look at the score lines from the last 5 Kettleers games. Not even going to say who won, just going to show the score lines. 2-1 against Hyannis, 6-3 against YD, 3-2 against Falmouth, 5-4 against Bourne, and 8-2 against Chatham. The last of which, as we mentioned, was a win. Every single one of those ball games was close. They were all competitive, and the Kettleers took 2 of the 5. So they're definitely playing better baseball as Wareham comes to town tonight. Top of the order for the Gatemen, it's Joey Bartosik leading off, followed by Cole Freeman and Alex Destino. 1, 2, 3, starting off this ball game. On the bump for Cotuit, the opening day starter, Keith Regala, now making his 4th appearance with the Kettleers. The last time he took the hill was June 24th against Hyannis, and he pitched extremely well in that one. First pitch fastball called for a strike at the knees. At Hyannis on June 24th, he went 5 1/3, gave up just 2 runs. 1 of them was earned, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Another fastball out of Regala's hand fouled off, and he's up 0-2 to start this ball game.
And you mentioned his start at Hyannis. That was really the first start of the year for a Kettleers pitcher where they went deep into a ball game and pitched well. And it's since that start at McKeon Park that this Kettleers pitching staff, both the rotation and the bullpen, have pitched very well. It seemed like that was just the kickstarter for this Kettleers pitching staff, and since then, it's been a much improved rotation and bullpen.
Bartosik has worked it to a 2-2 count now. Regala gets his sign, the 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, right side. Alonzo Jones gets it on a couple of hops, fires to first, and there's 1 away in the top of the first.
Alonzo Jones playing second tonight after a couple games out in left field. He looked good out there, made a lunging grab towards the foul line fence. That was one of the more impressive defensive plays we've seen this season by a Kettleers player. But we've also seen him make some incredible plays at second base as well. And it's always nice to have a versatile guy like that who can play middle infield as well as a corner outfield spot.
For a while, Mike Roberts just stuck him at DH, so his bat was in the lineup. And of course, so he could have his speed on the base paths. Cole Freeman batting here. 2-0 count to start off his at-bat. Aiden, you talked about Regala starting this wave of hot pitching for Cotuit. Over those last 5 games that we talked about, they're averaging 3 runs allowed. So the Kettleers have been in a position to win for about a week, and they look to keep that going here in July. 2-1 misses low. Regala behind 3-1.
Did you just do all that math in your head, Jason?
I added up the individual scores produced by Kettleers' opponents in the last 5 games, divided by 5, and there we have it. 3-1 misses, and it's a 1-out walk for Freeman.
Oh, so it's a relatively even distribution. It was 15 divided by 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So it was easy math. Even I can do that.
Here comes the 3-hitter, Alex Destino, the Wareham left fielder. Destino's batting .364. That over 8 games with the Gatemen. 12 hits, 3 runs, 2 doubles. Only one of a handful of Gatemen who has produced multiple extra base hits this season. Regala wants to check on Freeman at first. No stolen bases for Freeman yet this year, but he has been caught stealing twice. First pitch on the way now for Destino. Misses low and outside. Wind is blowing out to center tonight at Lowell Park. Plenty of clouds in the area. A slight chance of precipitation throughout the evening. Weather.com says around 15% for the next several hours, with isolated thunderstorms rolling in around 9 p.m. But there's no chance without lights here that Cotuit and Wareham would be playing at that point. Regala continues to check on Freeman. Wareham is 9-7-1, putting them at second place in the West Division. Freeman's going on the pitch. Here's a throw down from Jason DeLay, not quite in time. Freeman got the jump he wanted and moves into scoring position with one down.
Well, Freeman did get a good jump on that, but it was a strong throw from DeLay behind the plate, just a bit high, causing Ryan Hagan to jump for it. I think if that throw's a little bit lower and closer to the ground as Freeman slid in head first, I think DeLay and Hagan definitely have a shot at him, and I think he's probably out.
1-1 the count for Destino, with one down and one on in the top of the first inning. Regala at the belt. Freeman's going on the pitch again. DeLay has to block it, and Freeman swipes third. Back-to-back stolen bases, for the Wareham second baseman.
Well, we know how aggressive Mike Roberts is on the base paths. Now the Wareham Gateman using that same strategy against him. Swiping 2 bags in a row. DeLay with a strong arm, but couldn't transfer it as it was in the dirt.
Cotuit moves the entire infield in. Regala returns to the windup. Misses low. The count now 3 balls, 1 strike. Destino will be followed by the catcher Colton Shaver, and then Gavin Sheets in the 5 spot. 3-1 pitch from Regala. Breaking ball misses inside. Destino draws the walk. Runners at the corners now for the cleanup man.
Well, Regala having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. That's now 2 consecutive walks and allowing Freeman to advance a couple times on stolen bases, one of which was in the dirt. But it's a polished kid. He's got experience. I don't think they're worried about him.
Here comes Colton Shaver, hitting .264 on the Cape, out of Brigham Young University. He has 3 doubles and 3 home runs with 15 RBI. Regala's first pitch, a fastball in the dirt. Down to second goes Destino, now 2 men in scoring position for Shaver.
And Shaver's not the guy you want up if you're Mike Roberts with runners in scoring position. Big, powerful, right-handed bat. In the first meeting between the Gatemen and the Kettleers way back on my birthday, June 12th, at Spillane Field, he went 4 for 4. I mean, just absolutely tore the Gatemen apart, or excuse me, the Kettleers apart. Multi-RBI game, 2 extra base hits, hit 1 out. So, not a guy you want to fool around with.
That was the only matchup between Cotuit and the Gatemen so far this season. Wareham took it 8-0, and the Kettleers had just 1 hit in the ball game, a single by Jake Bivens. And since Bivens was caught stealing during the next at-bat, the Kettleers only sent 27 men to the plate that night. Things have turned around, though. Cotuit coming off an 8-2 demolition of Chatham, and having won 2 of their last 4, things are looking up at Lowell Park.
Shaver is actually right now tied for second in the Cape League in home runs with 3, and tied for the lead in the Cape League with 15 RBI. So, big, powerful bat.
Shaver loops the 1-0 foul. Count now 1-1. Despite all the bats in this Wareham lineup, they've had some issues offensively in their last 2 contests. Did not score against Falmouth on Wednesday. Won 1-0 against Chatham on Tuesday. 1-1 breaking ball misses outside. Count moves to 2-1.
And when looking at runs scored and hits, as far as their team totals ranked in the Cape League, they're right in the middle of the pack. So they have a couple guys who can hit, Colton Shaver being one of them. But other than that, it's not necessarily a deep offensive team because they're really well behind the leaders in the league in some major offensive categories.
2-2 misses, and the count runs full. When talking with the Wareham broadcasters before this contest started, they really emphasized that if there's been an issue of late, it's inconsistency. It's just a matter of the bats do come around one night, the pitching isn't there. If the pitching isn't on point, then the bats are going one night, and thus they've lost a lot of close ball games.
And when looking at these team totals, one thing that really stands out for me is the lack of patience, it looks like, from these Gateman hitters.
Huge strikeout for Keith Regala as he gets Shaver waving at a fastball low and outside. Now 2 away in the first.
Wareham ranks last in the league in total walks. They only have 35, which is 30 behind the leaders, the Falmouth Commodores. They're 5 behind the next worst team, so they don't walk much. So it's basically either hit the ball and get a hit, or they're out.
Gavin cheats up with 2 down, and he takes the first pitch low.
So if I'm a Kettleers pitcher here, you got to believe they're going to chase pitches out of the zone. That's what that tells me. So I'm not necessarily, obviously, if you're falling behind and they're laying off, then you have to pour it into the strike zone. But you don't necessarily have to throw it right down the middle.
And that probably plays to the advantage of the Kettleers pitching staff, who, as a whole, have given up the most walks in the league. Ground ball, first base side. Genesta has it on a nice snag, and he steps on first base to retire the side. Wareham unable to score in the top of the first. No hits, no errors, 2 men left on in the frame. Now we'll take a quick break for tonight's Cotuit replay.
Thanks, Jason. Bank of Cape Cod is proud to sponsor today's Cotuit replay from a former Kettleer. With branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth, rediscover local banking with Bank of Cape Cod. Kyle Finnegan from 2012 has this replay. There are so many wonderful memories to recall from my summer in Cotuit, but the ones that stand out the most are my unbelievable host family, the Faders. They made my stay in Cotuit truly special. Whether it was good food, good conversation, or just a good time, they were always there for me. Coach Roberts and the importance of keeping hitters off balance by using the changeup. He out in the time and effort to help me get better, and I still use the changeup I learned in Cotuit to this day. Last but not least, making lifelong friends and working together with my teammates to bring home a regular season championship. Kyle Finnegan, currently in the Oakland A's farm system, with his Cotuit replay, brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod with branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth. Rediscover local banking with Bank of Cape Cod.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Cotuit keeps Wareham off the board in the first, and they come to the plate in a scoreless ball game. Kettleers sending Grayson Genesta, Jackson Klein, and Cal Stevenson, the 1-2-3 hitters to the plate here. Genesta coming off an amazing performance in the Kettleers' victory over Chatham. He reached 4 times, 2 singles, 2 walks, 3 of the Kettleers' 8 runs scored. He chops one towards second, a couple of high hops for Freeman, who sidearms onto first for out number 1. On the bump tonight for Wareham, it's Jake Walters. If the name sounds familiar, that's because Cotuit saw him back on June 12th in the 8-0 Gateman victory at Spillane Field. Walters went 3 innings, giving up no runs, 1 hit. He had 1 strikeout, no walks. Plays his college ball at the University of Alabama. A junior with the Crimson Tide, 6'1", 190-pound righty. First pitch for Jackson Klein in the zone for a called strike.
And it'll be interesting to see how these Kettleers hitters do against a pitcher who they've already seen before. A lot of times you talk about faring better against the pitcher the first or second time through a lineup, and I'm sure it's the same situation seeing him again here at Lowell Park later in the season, and like we talked about, a very different Kettleers team.
Walters has some good velocity on his fastball. Sits between 90 and 93. Jams Jackson Klein. Grounder to third. Preston Grand Prix has it. Swings it over to first for out number 2. Walters has put up good numbers all season on the Cape, too. It's not just that performance against Cotuit. He has a 1-0 record, a 2.91 ERA over 4 games in 12 1/3 innings. Just 4 strikeouts, so he relies on his defense plenty, but he doesn't walk too many guys. 4 walks in those 12-plus frames. Cal Stevenson up with 2 away and the bases empty. Stevenson was also solid against Chatham, reaching 3 times, all on walks. Very good eye at the plate. He swiped 2 bases as well and scored in the big 5-run 5th inning that carried Cotuit to that win. 1-1, misses upstairs.
And you mentioned it, Jason. One of the things that's really stood out to me about Cal Stevenson is just simply plate discipline. I'm not looking at the stat sheet right now, but if he isn't leading the team in walks, it would definitely surprise me. He's got a great eye up at the plate, and especially for a guy who bats either 1 through 3 typically in the order, your job is to get on base. Set the table for the next guys coming up who then drive you in. With his speed, just the ability to get on base, that puts a lot of pressure and can make a lot of things happen and forces the defense into uncomfortable situations. And we've seen it several times this year, and there it is again with another walk.
Payoff pitch misses, and just like that, Cal Stevenson moves out of a tie for the lead in walks for the team into sole position of first place. So, Aiden, it's almost like you've been watching every game this year.
It's amazing. Hey, I missed half a game, so
that is true.
I can't say I've been here for them all, but I did miss half of the June 15th game against the Whitecaps.
Technically, if you count Alonzo Jones's hit by pitch, he has the same number of walks as Stevenson. Jones, by the way, at the plate now, wearing a different number than usual, adorned with number 3, since the Kettleers are wearing these red jerseys tonight.
He's not the only Kettleer either who's switching numbers in these red jerseys. Jared Padgett, who was in the booth the other day, left-hander out of Mississippi State, he also has some different uniforms, or a different uniform number. He's wearing 39 instead of his usual 46.
Beware the number changes. Throw to first, gets away from the first baseman, and Stevenson is really hustling around. He goes from first to third on the throwing error by the pitcher. And the Kettleers now have a man 90 feet from scoring in the bottom of the first.
How many players do you know on an errant pickoff attempt could go into third base standing up? That's not only speed, obviously we know how fast Cal Stevenson is, but just a baseball IQ, being able to read it. A lot of guys would hesitate coming around second. Should I go for second or should I go for third or not? Looking at his base coach and Mike Roberts and able to get in there.
Jones saws that pitch off down the left field line, foul. And the way that he attacked as soon as that ball got away from Sheets at first base, I think really exemplifies what you're talking about, Aiden. The helmet was down. He was looking right at Mike Roberts thinking, I'm turning this into 2 bases. Wasn't content with just swiping second. 1-1. Hit back up the middle, and the Kettleers have the first lead of the ball game. Stevenson comes home on the RBI single from Alonzo Jones.
Beautiful piece of hitting there by Alonzo Jones. Hit it right back up the middle into center field. Scores Stevenson from third. And how many other teams also do you think have arguably the 2 fastest guys in their lineup batting third and fourth? It's an interesting lineup, but it works. Not only are they 2 of the fastest, they're 2 of the most intelligent and just 2 of the best players on this team.
And because Wareham knows that Alonzo Jones has that speed, they pitch out on the first pitch for Quinn Brody. The left fielder out of Stanford, batting 5th in the Cotuit order this evening. Now a throw over to first to check on Jones. Brody is hitting 188. That in 10 games with the Kettleers. 6 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBI, as well as 1 walk. 1-0 count. Jones is off with the pitch, and Brody fouls it off. Count now 1-1. Surprisingly, Alonzo Jones has not stolen a base yet in this Cape Cod League season. He has been caught 3 times, though. Defense always alert when he's on the base paths. Walters set the 1-1. Misses above the letters. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike. A good showing tonight at Lowell Park as we start off this July 4th weekend in Cotuit. A throw over to first, and Jones is back in. By the way, the rest of the weekend for Cotuit will go as follows. The Kettleers travel to Wareham tomorrow for the second game of the home and home. First pitch at Spillane Field at 6:30. They'll follow that up with a home and home against the Falmouth Commodores. Sunday right here at Lowell Park, 5 p.m. Then Monday, July 4th at Guy Fuller Field for a 6 p.m. first pitch. 2-ball, 2-strike count for Brody with 2 down. Again, they check on Jones, who had taken a few extra steps off of first. Walters glares in for his sign, has the 2-2. Hit on the ground right side and past the first baseman, Sheets into right field. Jones flying around second. Here comes the throw to third. It's not cut off. Jones is in. Brody hustling down to second now. Cotuit always alert on the base paths. 2 men in scoring position with 2 down.
That is a prime example of what Mike Roberts has talked about and what we've seen in this Kettleers team. Earlier in the season, yes, they were very aggressive on the base paths, but they ran themselves into outs, and it seemed like, or Mike Roberts talked about the maturity on the field. Great play there, not only the hit by Brody, but recognizing that the ball got away from Grand Prix at third and being able to take the extra base. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position instead of just 1. And for a team that, yes, they got 8 runs the other night against Chatham, but overall in the season maybe has struggled a bit offensively, getting those extra guys in scoring position and maybe tacking on another run or 2 runs instead of just 1 is a big difference.
And this is an uncommon situation for the Kettleers. They're so used to playing from behind this year. Given up a lot of runs in the first inning. Found themselves in the hole. If you go back to the game against Bourne on Tuesday, Kettleers went down 5-0 in a troublesome first. This time the tables have turned, up 1-0 against the Wareham Gatemen in the bottom of the first inning. The designated hitter, Tim Susnara, steps in. Jones on third, Brody on second. Walters' first pitch. Misses outside, ball 1. Gatemen have the infield deep with 2 down. Big hole on the left side for the left-handed Susnara. 1-0 offering, finds the outer edge. Walters pulled the string with a changeup.
And just continuing with what we were talking about, Quinn Brody's really impressed me a lot these last few games, this last week, 2 weeks. Early in the season, struggled a bit out in the outfield, and Mike Roberts kind of took away some of his playing time, didn't probably play as much as they wanted to. I think, honestly, you just got to chalk that up to adjusting to the Cape League, coming from California, originally from LA, goes to Stanford, all the way across the country here to the Cape League, and you're expecting him to just be perfect immediately. No, he wasn't, but now, hitting the ball so much better, playing a better defense out in the outfield, being aggressive, showing that baseball IQ. I mean, the kid goes to Stanford. He's a smart kid. and he's really impressed me these last couple weeks.
1-2 is high and tight. Now a 2-2 count. Brody's game has definitely taken steps forward. We saw him have a few issues in the outfield in the early going, but he's really improved both defensively and at the plate. 2-2 misses outside. Good eye from Susnara. He's worked the count full. At Dorian awaits on deck.
Just seems like Brody's almost like a microcosm of this entire Kettleers season. Quinn Brody is representative of this Kettleers season. Started off struggling a bit earlier in the year, and it seems like a completely different player now.
Payoff pitch. Hits slow roller left side. Preston Grand Prix up with it. Bounces it to first, and it gets past Sheets again. Jones has scored. Brody is in. Susnara down to second. Probably another error committed by Wareham, and it's costly. Cotuit goes up 3-0.
Hey, Jason, guess what?
What?
Quinn Brody doesn't score there from first base. By moving to second, recognizing Grand Prix, the ball got away from Grand Prix earlier, it allowed Brody to take the extra base, and he scores there on the throwing error. That's what I'm talking about. Taking the extra base, being intelligent, recognizing these things, and now Cotuit with a 3-0 lead instead of a 2-0 lead.
Very heads-up play by Brody on the base pass. Dorian in. First pitch fastball misses inside. Count 1-0. Man, how much different does it feel watching this ball game than it did watching the one at Spillane Field? Second game of the year, I believe.
Well, I was 18 then.
At least until 6:48 or whatever it was.
6:56. Come on, Jason.
6:56.
But you're right. It's a very different team that we're watching here. More, and I think part of it is just adjusting to the Cape League. Maybe it took Cotuit a little bit longer than the other teams. But they're looking better offensively, defensively. The pitching staff's been better. Mike Roberts talked to me, we're not competitive right now. Even when they're losing, Cotuit's competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they belong here competing against some of the best players in the country.
1-1 hit on the ground right side. Freeman has it. A low throw to first base, but Sheets can handle it for out number 3. Kettleers get 3 runs in the first, coming on 2 hits, 3 errors. 1 man left on. We're done with 1 at Lowell Park, and the Kettleers are out in front, 3-0. Keep it right here. You're locked into Kettleers baseball.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu. What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Top of the second now at Lowell Park. Wareham back to the plate. It's Robbie Metz leading off for the Gatemen here. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Mets will be followed by Preston Grand Prix and Harrison Wenson. Regala misses with his first couple pitches. Count 2 balls, no strikes. Regala did face 5 guys in the first. Gave up a pair of walks, but stranded them at second and third. Count now 3 balls, no strikes.
Be very interested to see how Keith Regala looks this inning, the next inning, moving forward in this game. This is the first time all season he's pitching with the lead.
This time he's true. 3 balls, 1 strike. High fly ball, center field off the bat of Mets. Jackson Klein has a beat on it. Puts it away for the first out.
I mean, think about it. Last time he was out on the mound, he gave up 2 runs, only one of them earned, and gets a loss. He pitched phenomenally. So, to pitch with a lead, Cotuit already has 3 runs in the first inning. They got him 1 last time he was out on the mound. Now he can just go right after hitters and attack them. He's in command. He's got some runs on the board. He's got the team supporting him behind him. It's a lot of pressure off your shoulders if you're Keith Regala.
1-0 count for Preston Grand Prix. He fouls it off. Count now 1-1. And to even go back to the first game and the situation that Keith Regala was in on opening night at Harwich. He gave up 8 runs. 1 of them was earned. It's incredibly frustrating for a pitcher. And Cotuit has solved some of their fielding issues. They haven't put up a 6 spot in the error column since that first game, or anything close to a 6 spot for that matter. Bases empty with 1 down. 1-2 pitch for Grand Prix. He gets a small piece. Grand Prix is hitting .222. Comes from Cal Berkeley. Has played 8 games with the Gatemen, totaling 4 runs and 6 hits. This time he swings and misses. A strikeout for Regala, his second of the night, and there's 2 away in the second.
Working quickly, throwing strikes, getting hitters out. Keith Regala looking good once again on the mound.
It's a winning formula. With 2 down, it's Harrison Wenson, the DH for Wareham. The 9-hitter Nico Giratano waits on deck. First pitch swinging is Wenson. Can't get a piece. It's 0-1. Wenson is from the University of Michigan, hitting .188 this Cape season in 5 games. 1 double. 1 of his 3 hits. 1 RBI, 2 walks as well.
I don't know if I just misheard you or something. I thought you were saying Nico Giarantano was up, and I thought to myself, there is no way he plays shortstop. He is a monster in the batter's box, listed at 6'3", 235. Just looks, oh my, that kid could be playing middle linebacker.
Roaming around like Brian Urlacher. 0-2 in the dirt. Count now 1-2.
I know you're from Minnesota. Could be a Chad Greenway.
Pretty good, although he's an outside linebacker.
Well, he played inside earlier in the career, then didn't he switch outside? He's a tackle machine.
E.J. Henderson was inside. Harrison Wenson swings through that breaking ball from Regala, and he sets down the Gateman 1-2-3 in the top of the second. 3-0 Kettleers after 1.5. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development. Online at curry.edu.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world. The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. a proud member of Leading Hotels of the World.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Cotuit in the bottom of the second. They lead 3-0 at home against the Wareham Gatemen. Lowell Park has treated the Kettleers well this season. They've got all 3 of their wins right here. Jason DeLay starting off this bottom of the second. Takes the first pitch for a called strike 1.
And the Gatemen haven't exactly fared all that well on the road. They're 4-4-1. And they're 3-4-1 against the Western Division. So another good recipe for success for the Kettleers. Although the Kettleers have not won a game this season against a Western Division opponent, so looking to get that first one in the
Weird
win
how
column.
things shake out that way. Pitch upstairs, count now 1-2. And of course, winning those Western Division games will be big for Cotuit in making a push for the playoffs. 1-2 ripped back into center field, and it drops. Jason DeLay with a leadoff single to start off the second.
That's DeLay's first hit here in the Cape League. Right-hander out of Vanderbilt University. Went 0 for 3 in his debut the other night against the Bourne Braves. And then did not play against Chatham. So 1 for 1 tonight.
Now it's Ryan Hagen in an unfamiliar spot, batting in the 9 hole. Usually a little bit farther up in the order. Pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Shaver for ball 1. Hagen is hitting .222 in 17 games. He's still played in more contests than any other Cotuit Kettleer, given that he's played in every single game. 12 hits and 54 at-bats, 5 runs scored, 5 RBI, 5 walks. A mainstay at shortstop. Hagen has been phenomenal defensively. He and Josh Shaw, usually the 2 middle infielders. Tonight we see Alonzo Jones at second base. And Hagen hits one in the air to right field. Robbie Metz ranges toward the line and puts it away for out number 1.
Hagen's been struggling a bit offensively lately. After that flyout, he's 5 for his last 28. But even when hitting the ball well, or even when getting out, he's hitting the ball well. He's had some sacrifice flies. He's getting on base, too, walking and getting hit by pitches at a pretty good clip, as well as playing above average to excellent defense at shortstop.
Back to the top of the order we go. It's Grayson Genesta. First pitch, fastball in at the knees for a called strike. Genesta is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second base in the first inning. First 2 men were set down for Cotuit in the first before they scored 3 runs. Needed the help of 3 errors to do so. Pitch in the dirt. There goes Jason DeLay down to second. Throw from Shaver sails high. Freeman backs it up. Keeps it from rolling into center field, but DeLay is down to second safely.
More heads-up base running there by the Kettleers, reading it in the dirt well, knowing he can get down to second. Even if that throw is accurate and on the money, DeLay's still in there at second.
Walter set the 1-1. Genesta with a big swing. Doesn't get anything though. Count moves to 1-2. Jackson Klein on deck. Cal Stevenson after him. Walters 1-2. Swing and a miss. Genesta can't catch a piece on an outside changeup. And now there are 2 away in the second. Klein is 0 for 1 as he steps to the dish. Grounded out to third base in the first inning. Now gets a chance with the man in scoring position. Jason DeLay on second base. Walters with a couple of checks. First pitch fastball in at the knees for a called strike.
Klein's been another one of these Kettleers who really is leading the charge as far as the new look Kettleers. I know Mike Roberts talked about we're going to reset the team. Well, it's worked to this point, and Klein's hitting the ball well.
Chopper up the middle into center field. DeLay rounding third and coming home. The throw from Bartosik is cut off in the infield. DeLay scores on the RBI single from Jackson Klein. Cotuit out in front early. It's 4-0.
Well, that's his third RBI in the last 2 games. We talked about it, hitting the ball well. Last game, hit a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. That was an absolute moonshot out to left center field. Came into this game batting .297. He's now 12 for 39 on the season. Jason, I'm going to let you do that math. But it's right around 300.
Just a hair below 333.
Oh.
It's 13 for 39 would be 1/3.
Okay. So, see, that's why you're the math kid here. Hitting the ball really well. It's just the easiest way to say it. Jackson Klein, one of the best hitters on the Kettleers this season. One of his better all-around players.
He stands on first as Cal Stevenson bats. Stevenson reached on a hit-by-pitch in the first inning. Walters set with the 1-1. Here it comes. Laced into left field. Giving chase is Destino. He gets there in time. Hauls it in for out number 3. Cotuit adds 1 run in the second inning, coming on 2 hits, a pair of singles. No errors, 1 man left on the frame. We're finished with 2 full innings now at Lowell Park, and the Kettleers have a 4-0 edge on the Wareham Gatemen.
Summer baseball's underway. People get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We gotta cheer for the team we love. The ball's racing down the line. Come on, coach, give them a sign. The runner's waiting, he's ready to steal. The Kettleers are gonna seal the deal. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today. So dock your skiff and take a walk past the coop. It's 5 o'clock. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see a Cotuit home run. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way.
Keith Regala working on the bump for Cotuit. He goes into the 3rd inning, milking a 4-0 lead for the Kettleers. And he's facing Nico Giratano, the 9-hitter, to start off this 3rd. Joey Bartosik, Cole Freeman, and Alex Destino will follow. Regala behind 2-0 after he pitched a perfect 2nd inning. Got a fly out to center and then a pair of strikeouts. 3 Ks for him so far today, and he's set down the last 5 hitters he's faced. 2-0 pitch is a called strike, low and inside portion of the plate. Pat Dorian playing well off third base, even with the baseline as well. Middle infield deep. 2-1 pitch. Misses low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night in Cotuit, Massachusetts for Kettleer Baseball. I'm Jason Doro. Next to me, Aiden Doyle. And Keith Regala on the bump for Cotuit. He issues a leadoff walk for Giartano to start off this third.
We know Regala has the stuff. Some of the best velocity on the team and one of the best breaking balls on the team. It's just a matter of having control. In his 5 1/3 against Hyannis, he issued 2 walks. So, take that as you may. 2 walks in 5 innings. This isn't the worst thing ever, but could be better. And he had 6 walks in his initial start against the Harwich Mariners at White House Field. So, like I mentioned, the stuff's there. It's just a matter of controlling it.
Righty versus righty matchup with Joey Bartosik at the plate. He fouls off the 0-1 delivery, and now he's in the hole 0-2. Regala, a sophomore out of Creighton University. He posted a 3.21 ERA this season with the Blue Jays and a 5-3 record. Had 59 strikeouts in 73 innings. Ready with the 0-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. Bartosik set down for out number 1, and Regala now has 4 strikeouts.
Climbing the ladder on Joey Bartosik. Fastball above the zone, getting Bartosik the chase, changing the eye levels, changing the batter's view as far as that ball coming in. Doing a good job. Very tough for any hitter to hit a high fastball. It always looks better than it actually is. It looks easier to hit than it really is.
Cole Freeman standing in. Freeman walked in the first inning, stole second base and stole third base, but then was stranded there. Hits one on the ground left side. Hagen has it. Throw to second. Out there. Jones the relay to first. Not in time. Kettleers get the all-important lead runner for out number 2.
Well, there we see the quick hands of Ryan Hagen on display once again. Fielding that ball deep in the shortstop hole and then throwing off balance, making an accurate throw over to second. The play at first was closer than a lot of people thought.
Closer than it should have been.
Yeah, exactly. And that just goes to show you how quick these middle infielders, Hagen and Jones, are for the Kettleers. Hagen once again providing excellent defense at short.
Alex Destino, big left-handed hitter, stands in with 2 down. Regala still working from the stretch with the runner on first. Checks on Freeman, who definitely got into Regala's head in the first inning. Regala threw over to first a handful of times before Freeman stole second base and then third base. Big lead off of first as Destino fouls off the pitch. Destino was also stranded in the first inning. Wareham leaving 2 men on before Cotuit struck for 3 runs in the first and another run in the second.
And I guess that's the one negative of the play at second there where Hagen threw over to Jones, is that now Freeman's on first, and he's the guy who stole 2 bases when he was on first the first time in the first inning. Said first a lot there.
But you got to do what you got to do and get the lead runner.
That is true. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the play. It was an excellent play, and it was the right play. It's just if you're looking for something negative to say, I guess it is that the fast guy's on first. But
there's no consolation prize.
2 down, so should not be an issue for Regala.
0-1 pitch. There goes Freeman, and Jason DeLay loses the ball on the transfer. Pitch was high and outside. Count now 1-1. Freeman successfully swipes second base for the second time tonight.
And that's not Regala's fault there.
No.
It was a good pitch for Delay to throw on. High and outside wasn't exactly a pitch out, but it was
served the same purpose.
Exactly, it looked like it. And Delay just having a little bit of trouble on the transfer.
Nice breaking pitch from Regala with a 1-1 count. Destino waves over it. And now Regala can get out of the third with one pitch.
Well, if you weren't going to say nice breaking pitch there, I was going to. That was beautiful. Regala changing speeds very effectively here in his first 2 2/3.
1-2 in the dirt, low and outside. Delay keeps it in front. Count 2-2. And it definitely says something about Mike Roberts' trust in his new catcher, putting Jason Delay behind home plate and throwing Tim Sosnara at DH tonight. Sosnara has been one of the better defensive catchers for Cotuit. Delay just recently joining the squad. 2s across the board as Regala steps off. 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 down in the top of the third. Kettleers up by a score of 4-0. Pat Dorian way off of third base now. 2-2 is also in the dirt, blocked by Delay. The count runs full.
One of these days, we're going to get every number up on that scoreboard to be the same number. And then you and I will just lose our minds here in the press box.
That'll be wild.
That, I'll never forget it. But that is not the situation here with a full count.
The payoff pitch, chopped foul down the first base line.
And when he was up here in the booth, Regala talked to us a bit about using a changeup a bit more. We know how Mike Roberts likes to preach the gospel of the changeup. Regala has a very effective fastball and curveball. It's just a matter of developing that third pitch and throwing it more in-game situations for strikes and getting hitters out on it. He said he pitched, when he pitched at Hyannis, that he used it a few times and struck at least one guy out on it. It'll be interesting to see more and more as the season progresses how he mixes in that changeup a bit more to go along with the fastball and the curveball.
Destino eventually draws the walk on a pitch low and inside. And now Wareham's big bopper and Colton Shaver is at the plate.
Big bopper is, without a doubt, the best way I think we could possibly describe Colton Shaver. Just another guy who should be playing middle linebacker.
Shaver up 2-0 after Regala misses a couple of times.
Listed at 6'1", 230 pounds. Just, I mean, it looks like a right-handed hitting John Kruk up there. Just mean, and he's going to mash the ball if he gets a piece of it.
Hopefully John Kruk back in his day, not John Kruk right now.
I think we're all hoping it was John Kruk back in the day.
Yeah.
You know who he looks like? He looks like the guy who plays on the Mets in the movie Rookie of the Year. I forget his name, but the kid,
wow.
Henry Rowengartner, can't strike out until the last pitch of, the last episode, whatever, however the movie ends.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm having trouble picturing the player in my mind.
All right, I'm going to bring this up on the internet here in the booth.
2 down in the top of the third. Keith Regala working through a long frame. Now he misses upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's Freeman on second, who has plenty of speed, has already stolen 3 bases today. Destino on first, Schaefer at the plate, the 3-1. High fly ball to center field. Jackson Klein backpedaling to the fence, and he's got room to make the catch for out number 3. That's it for Wareham in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on. After 2.5 now at Lowell Park, Kettleers up 4-0. Keep it right here. You're watching Kettleers baseball.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. with 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamping. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Alonzo Jones leading off the third for the Cotuit Kettleers. They're leading by a score of 4-0 against the Wareham Gatemen right here at Lowell Park. Kettleers looking for back-to-back victories after defeating the Chatham Anglers earlier this week. Slow dribbler down the third base line off the end of the bat from Jones. Preston Grand Prix picks it up, but the ball was in foul territory, so Jones will get another shot. 4, 5, and 6 in the Kettleers order due up here. Jones, Brody, Susnara. Cotuit has won 2 of their last 4, playing much better baseball after a slow start to this season. They still sit at 3-14. Currently last in the West Division. Wareham at 9-7-1. One pitch for Jones. Blooped foul down the left field line. Jones facing off against Jake Walters out of the University of Alabama, who had a lot of success in his first start against the Kettleers, but today not so much, although 3 errors led to 3 Kettleers runs in the first. 2-2 pitch for Jones, misses off the plate. Just one of the 4 runs that Walters has given up tonight has been earned. Now Jones cracks one to left field, hangs up, enough for Destino to haul it in. 1 down in the third. Bases empty, 1 down for Quinn Brody. Brody singled in the first. Part of back-to-back base knocks from him and Jones. They both came around to score in the frame. Brody also with some heads-up base running, moving down to second on a wild throw from the right fielder Robbie Metz into third base where he tried to get Jones. Thus Brody would score when Tim Susnara came to the plate and reached on an error. One pitch from Walters. Bloop shot to the left side. The shortstop Giartano ranges out, makes the grab. Now 2 down in the third.
Nice play there by Giartano. It's always tough to range back on a ball at shortstop. Shortstop is usually going across your body, having to reach with a glove hand across and make a play. Backpedaling, you're not sure if, in this case, Destino is going to come in. It's where communication becomes vital for any baseball team. Nobody ever talks, well, I guess people do, but you never really think about the communication required in baseball when compared to, like, football or basketball or another sport like that.
And there's a pecking order in baseball, too, to aid in that communication. Center fielder usually able to call off the corner outfielder. Shortstop takes precedence over his other infielders, although you'll often see the third baseman cut off slow rollers on the left side if there's only so much time to get a speedy runner. 1-1 called for a strike. Now Cisnara behind 1-2. A cloudy day at Lowell Park. Still somewhat humid, 75 degrees. And the Kettleers go down 1-2-3 in the third inning as Cisnara is fanned by Walters. A quiet inning at the plate for Cotuit. They're still up 4-0 though as we head to the fourth at Lowell Park.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new
was the Cinderella team, whose clocks did not strike midnight. Coastal Carolina wins their first national championship, and they did so with a future and former Kettleer. But let's talk about the future. Bobby Holmes last night comes in the sixth inning. The runners on second and third, gets a big strikeout of Alex Boyd, and that would do it. So back-to-back days for Bobby Holmes, showing poise and able to react under pressure. He was pretty good. We talk about the past in terms of the Kettleers. Mike Baez, who was with the team last year, he was a shortstop. He wins the national championship. Special moment for the Coastal Carolina team. Guys, back to you.
Four to nothing the score here at Lowell Park. Kettleers on top of the Wareham Gatemen as we move to the top of the fourth inning. I'm Aiden Doyle, joined alongside by Jason Doro. As Keith Regala misses high with the breaking ball to first baseman Gavin Sheets. Sheets 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to Grayson Genesta at first base in his first at-bat. And he's ahead in the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. Sheets, a Demon Deacon, member of that Wake Forest baseball team, takes strike 1 in at the knees, count 2 balls, 1 strike. He's batting .327 coming into this game, so another one of these guys on this Gateman team that hits very well, but we talked about the depth as he crushes this one deep in the air to right field. Jogging back is Cal Stevenson, and he'll watch this one go. That ball tattooed over the fence in right field and into the trees. And the Gatemen get their first hit of the night, and they are on the board as the score is now 4-1 here at Lowell Park on the home run by Gavin Sheets.
Tattoo, the perfect word for what Sheets did to that baseball. And I don't think I've ever seen such a confident-looking stroke. Sliced right through the zone, and as soon as he hit it, he knew he'd have an easy trot around the base paths.
Well, Mike Roberts is going to the bullpen after the home run by Sheets. Looks like it's going to be Taylor Lehman, left-hander out of Penn State, coming in for Cotuit. We're going to take a short break as Lehman warms up. You're locked in to Kettleers Baseball.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
Mike Roberts going to the bullpen. Taylor Lehman, left-hander out of Penn State, now on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers, who hold a 4-1 victory, or 4-1 lead, excuse me.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
Over the Wareham Gatemen here in the top of the 4th. Lehman, a big, tall left-hander out of Penn State, misses lone outside on the first pitch to Robert Metz. Nobody on base, nobody down here in the top of the 4th, as the right-handed Metz digs in. Lehman kicks and fires. This one misses below the knees. Metz ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. This is the first time we've seen Taylor Lehman pitch since his brilliant outing against the YD Red Sox, as he finds his own here. Count moves to 2-1. That outing came on June 25th here at Lowell Park. Threw 5 no-hit innings, walked 3, struck out 4, and retired the last 13 batters he faced, as Metz lines this one into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. And the Gatemen have a man aboard here in the top of the 4th for Preston Grand Prix.
And what looked good out of Lehman in his last appearance was just the way he was changing speeds. He has a fastball that gets into the upper 80s, maybe touches lower 90s. And he said that he's really worked on his changeup, like all these other guys on the Kettleers roster, worked on that changeup with Roberts and the pitching staff to improve it and throw it in the right spots.
Grand Prix lays down a bunt at the first base line, fielded by Genesta. He'll apply the tag to Grand Prix, but Metz moves on to second. And there's one down and a runner in scoring position for the Gatemen.
Interesting that they're bunting here. Down by 3 runs. It is early in the game. It's only the 4th inning. But I feel like Wareham would probably want to add more than 1 run at a time, given the deficit.
Harrison Wenson coming up to the plate now, or excuse me, yes, Wenson. The designated hitter tonight for the Gatemen. Right-handed batter out of the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Takes a big cut at the off-speed pitch from Lehman, but gets nothing, 0-1. Wenson 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd. As Lehman comes to a set. Looks back at Metz, now kicks and fires. Wenson shows bunt, and he drops this one down. Fielded by Genesta, throws on to a covering Lehman, who gets there just in time for the 2nd out of the inning, but Metz on to 3rd.
That time, it definitely looked like the Gatemen were trying to bunt for a hit, excuse me. Wenson really doesn't have a lot of speed, though. The way he was moving down to first didn't look like he's a guy who's typically going to be able to bunt for a hit, whether he's dropping it down the first or third base line.
Well, with the left-handed pitcher up, he's falling towards the third base dugout when he follows through. Genesta was positioned really close to the line, and Jones was kind of shaded towards second base up the middle. as Lehman misses outside on the first pitch to Nico Giarantino.
It was a perfectly placed ball.
Oh, yeah.
He put it in the exact right spot.
It was just tough for the Kettleers to cover that one.
Yeah.
So it was for sure definitely trying to bunt for a hit, trying to recognize a hole in the defense, but unable to do so as Lehman got there in time. And he fires an off-speed pitch that Giarantano swings through. It is Giarantano, not Tino. So the count 1-1 to the shortstop out of the University of San Francisco. Switch hitter batting right against the left-handed throwing Lehman. As Lehman comes to a set, kicks and delivers. Fastball over the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Giarantano, this is his first official at bat, and he walked his first time up in the third inning to lead things off for the Gateman. And he takes the 1-2 in the dirt as Lehman misses with the breaking ball. So the count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2s across the board, Jason. And the Gatemen have a runner 90 feet away, and Robert Metz, who singled and then advanced to third on 2 bunts by Preston Grand Prix and Harrison Wenson. And this one's blooped down the right field line, and that'll drop just foul as Giarantano stays alive, and Taylor Lehman catches a bit of a break there.
Giarantano did exactly what you expect him to do with that pitch. Outside the zone, low and outside. Just kind of poke it down the right field line and pray that it drops in for a hit. I still think that was a great pitch from Taylor Lehman, and more often than not, that probably turns into a strikeout or an out in some other form.
It was, but that one just foul. That was one of those situations where if that had dropped in, just bad luck for the Kettleers. So 2-2 the count as Lehman misses low and inside. Nice block there by Jason DeLay, who slid to his left and blocked that pitch in the dirt. So the count full now with 2 down and a runner on third. Nico Giarantano up to the plate. Top of the order, waits on deck for Wareham and Joey Bartosik. And here's the payoff pitch. This one's grounded towards third. Diving stop by Pat Dorian. Long throw to first. Not in time. So Giarantano, 1 for 1 tonight and has an RBI single here in the fourth. Score now 4-2. Kettleers still on top.
And there's just nothing you can do if you're Cotuit in that situation. First of all, it's amazing that Pat Dorian made that stop at third base and kept Giarantano from taking extra bases. Full extension right along the line. And at that point, why not make the throw to first? See if by chance you can get him. But it's a play where it's going to be a single 100% of the time.
Top of the order, Joey Bartosik up now. As Lehman kicks and fires from the stretch, misses low. Count 1 ball, no strikes. And it wasn't a hit very hard either. So if that gets past Dorian at third, that's a long run for Brody to come down the line. And you possibly are looking at Giarantano at second now, as this one's chopped towards third. Easy play for Dorian, throw on to first. In time for the third out, but the Gatemen get on the board with the home run by Gavin Sheets and tack on another with Nico Giarantano's infield single. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 man left on. After 3.5, Kettleers 4, Gatemen 2. You're listening, Kettleers Baseball.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamping. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Bottom of the fourth here at Lowell Park. Pat Dorian leading things off for the Kettleers, and he takes ball one low from Jake Walters. I'm Aiden Doyle. Next to me, Jason Doro, the 6'5" club basketball player out of Northwestern, and this one's hitting the air deep to right field. Moving back is Metz, and he'll watch this one go home run. Pat Dorian, 5-2 now. Kettleers on top of the Gateman.
It's a power surge tonight at Lowell Park. Where's this been all season? I think we've only seen a couple of home runs in this ballpark until tonight. Jackson Klein, Albie Weiss each had one. Now we got one from each side. Pat Dorian just lifting that ball out to right field with a good charge. And it's a solo shot to start off the bottom of the fourth.
And it's interesting because the wind here is blowing out towards left center, really. Out towards the scoreboard, and both of these home runs we've seen are well hit out to right. And now Jason DeLay, catcher out of Vanderbilt, come into the dish, takes ball one low. And now takes ball two low. 2 balls, no strikes on DeLay, who's 1 for 1 tonight, singled in the second inning, then stole second and would come around to score on Jackson Klein's RBI single. Walters misses again. DeLay ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Here's a 3-0 from Walters. This one catches the outside part of plate. And 3-1 the count now. Walters working from the windup. DeLay chops this one foul towards the Kettleers dugout. And the count runs full. Later in this game, we'll be joined by Colton Hawk and Cal Becker in the booth as DeLay lines this one into left field, and that one will get down in front of Destino. Jason DeLay has his second hit of the night.
Now this is just an idea, but you said you're looking for questions for
I am.
Hawk and for Becker.
We've talked.
Why not throw it out, say, hey, hit me up on Twitter with questions?
So any of you guys listening, anybody listening, whether your dog has a question, I really don't care. I just need questions.
That'd be something.
If there is something you would like Colton Hawk and or Cal Becker to be asked, you can hit Jason or I up on Twitter. I'm at Aiden Doyle. That's at capital AODHAN, capital DOYLE. That's me on Twitter. And Jason, yours is at Jason Doro _ right?
No underscores in there. Just straight Jason Doro.
Really?
DOROW. Yeah.
Huh.
The more you know.
We need that, like, star shooting across the sky. The more you know.
We could print a piece of paper out and staple it to the top of the broadcast booth here or something.
Well, while we're talking about stars up in the sky, the Gatemen have gone to the bullpen here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's a left-hander coming in for Wareham. We're not sure who it is yet. Number, looks like 6. And that would be Tom Cosgrove. Well, no, it can't be Cosgrove. Well, we're going to take a short break as the mysterious left-hander for Wareham warms up. We'll be back right after this.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Well, it is indeed Tom Cosgrove on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. Lists him as a right-hander in the stat sheet. That's why I didn't think it could be him, but that is indeed just a typo. Cosgrove out of Manhattan College as Ryan Hagan drops down the bunt, fielded by Sheets over first, and he flips in time to get Hagan at second, but delay moves on, gets Hagan at first, but delay moves on to second, and now the Kettleers have a runner in scoring position with one down in the top of the order coming up.
And I think this is a good chance to remind everyone that there are some awesome July 4th festivities coming up at Lowell Park.
I don't think awesome's the right word. I think super duper awesome.
Super duper spectacular, funtacular games and stuff happening at Lowell Park on July 4th. Hitting contest, free family fun day. Includes a dunk tank, a bouncy house, obstacle course, face painting. I hear Matt Feldman might be one of the face painters.
Is one of the face painters.
And he's a real artist. So
he texted us today, what?
Guaranteed good stuff.
He's like, what should I be face painting? John Meta suggested a self-portrait. That will not be happening. Unless, I guess, you want a self-portrait of Matt's face on the side of your face. As Grayson Genesta behind in the count 0-2.
Well, the face paint should make you look better, not worse, so.
That's mean, Jason. Matt's not even in here to defend himself.
We're just joking in here.
As Cosgrove comes to a set, kicks and fires a breaking ball. This one misses high and inside. Count moves to 1-2.
Come on, you got to have the broadcast versus
writers.
Whatever you call it.
They're the writers.
I wanted to say print, but we don't have a newspaper that we're publishing.
It's online digital media, I guess. As Cosgrove kicks and fires. This one catches the plate, and Genesta goes down looking.
Also included on those festivities on July 4th, a hitting contest at Lowell Park. There will be a men's and women's division. Participants must be 18 years of age or older, and registration will be on a first-come, first-served basis. Cost is $20. And the parade kicks off at 11 a.m. from the Cotuit Post Office and concludes at the Waldorf School of Cape Cod.
Jackson Klein coming to the plate now for the Kettleers. 2 down, runner on second. And Jason, who's announcing all these events?
You might know them as your Cotuit Kettleers broadcasters. High five. Yeah.
We just high-fived here in the booth. So, yes, if you'd like to come out to Lowell Park, you'll listen to Jason and I announce these events. I think that's what we're doing. We're listed as announcers. We don't actually know what we're announcing. As Klein hits this one deep in the air to left field, moving back is Destino, and he'll watch this one go. The Kettleers' second home run of the night, Jackson Klein's second home run of the year, and it's now a 7-2 lead for Cotuit here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Kettleers having a parade of their own around the base paths this evening. The offense has come around 8 runs against Chatham, 7 runs tonight. We've only played 4 innings.
The parade's coming 3 days early here at Lowell Park, and this one doesn't end at the back entrance of the Waldorf School of Cape Cod. It ends at home plate on the Kettleers' dugout as Cal Stevenson continues the hit parade and lines a base hit to left field. Wow, that was really exciting. Cal Stevenson hitting the ball to left field, slap hitter, that was well hit, and then we can't not mention Jackson Klein, crushing another home run.
I was still writing down the home run in my scorebook, and all of a sudden Cal Stevenson was off to first. That dude is always in a hurry.
He's fast, on the base paths, and takes the first pitch he sees from Cosgrove and lines it into left field. Cotuit with 8 hits, and it's only the fourth inning. 7 runs, and it's only the 4th inning. As Stevenson leads off of first as Alonzo Jones fouls this one straight back.
Now, you strike me as a big fan of parades in general.
I love parades.
I had a feeling.
I like the candy at parades.
Yeah, of course. Have you ever thrown out candy in a parade?
No.
Have you been on the other end? You're only on the receiving end?
I've been in a parade, actually, ironically, as Alonzo Jones grounds this one to third, and the throw by Grand Prix on to first in time for the third out of the inning. I was going to say, before we conclude this inning, the only time I've actually been in a parade is that it was as a Brewster Whitecaps bat boy in the Brewster and Bloom parade for the Whitecaps.
Well, there's a second time for everything.
And I will be in it as a member of the Kettleers intern squad as the Kettleers get 2 runs. It comes on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 4 full, Cotuit on top, 7-2. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball.
Summer baseball's underway. People get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We gotta cheer for the team we love. The ball's racing down the line. Come on, coach, give them a sign. The runner's waiting, he's ready to steal. The Kettleers are gonna seal the deal. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today. So dock your skiff and take a walk past the coop. It's 5 o'clock. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see a Cotuit home run. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit.
Hey, hey, Cotuit. We're back here at Lowell Park in the top of the 5th inning as Taylor Lehman misses high and outside. I'm Aiden Doyle. Next to me, Jason Doro, the broadcasters of the July 4th event here at Lowell Park, as we were talking about last half inning. Cole Freeman, second baseman for the Gatemen, up to the dish as Lehman misses high and outside once again. Freeman ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Freeman 0 for 1 tonight, reached on a walk in the first and stole second and third, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the third and stole second. So he's got 3 stolen bases tonight, and he's only been on base twice. So another guy who can wreak some havoc on the base paths. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike as Lehman kicks and fires. Fastball misses high, 3-1 the count. Lehman working from the windup. Kicks and fires. This one's grounded. Diving, leaping stab by Pat Dorian. Long throw onto first. In time. What a play. Pat Dorian at third base. And you look befuddled, flabbergasted, shocked, in awe, amazed, Jason.
Oh, man. To move away from first base, leap, bring that baseball in, and then make a throw off your back foot all the way across the diamond. Pat Dorian, you are the man. What a play.
That was an excellent play at third base by the third baseman out of Herkimer County Community College, headed to St. John's next year, as Lehman misses high with the breaking ball. 1-0 the count now to Alex Destino, who lines this one into center field, drifting back and ranging to his right is Jackson Klein, and he puts it away for out number 2.
That wasn't an easy play either. You could see that ball tailing on Jackson Klein. as he moved back into deep left center field. The wind is gusting right now out to center, and that could create some issues for the outfielders in these latter frames.
We have our first question submitted via Twitter.
Let's go.
Tim Miller, ask the boys what they think of the Kettleers theme song. We will most certainly do that to Tim Miller. And also thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. As Taylor Lehman fires a strike in to Colton Shaver. And now, Jason, we looked at this in the last half inning or so. I'm not wrong. He does look like the guy from Rookie of the Year.
You are 100% correct. I don't know about the facial hair. I don't know if that's there, but
that's
as far
lacking.
As stature, the way he holds the bat and everything.
They even have the same colored batting gloves. I mean,
incredible.
What more can you ask for? Taylor Lehman misses high, count 2-1. Shaver 0 for 2 tonight, struck out in the first and flew out to center in the third. And he fouls this one back and out of play. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2s across the board with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The name of the gentleman in Rookie of the Year, by the way, is Alejandro Hedo. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. Big slugger for the Mets in that movie, as Lehman misses high and the count runs full. And then Henry Rowan-Gardner, the young, I think he's like 11, 12 in the movie.
Something like
strikes him out on the Ephus pitch in the last at-bat. Just wonderful ending, wonderful movie, as Shaver lines this one into left field. Although right at Quinn Brody, who puts it away for out number 3. Down go the gatemen in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. 7-2, Kettleers on top of the gatemen after 4.5. You're locked in to Kettleers baseball.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Back here at Lowell Park, Quinn Brody up now against the left-handed throwing Tom Cosgrove. Kettleers on top of the gatemen 7-2 as we move to the bottom of the 5th. Lefty-lefty matchup here between Cosgrove and Brody. Cosgrove kicks and fires breaking ball. This one misses low and outside. Count evens at 1-1. We're joined in the booth now by Kettleers right-hander Colton Hawk out of Stanford University. You can follow him on Twitter at Hawkeye, one of the best Twitter handles on the team. Colton, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
And as we've seen, Cotuit putting up 7 runs so far through 4 innings. One of the main men behind that, Jackson Klein, 2 for 3 tonight, 2 RBI, second home run in as many days as Brody grounds this one foul. You were teammates with him at Stanford. What's it like playing with Jackson?
Yeah, Jack's been hot these last couple of days. I mean, he's actually a teammate out of Stanford. He's my roommate here, so I'm pretty much with him most of the time and kind of picking his mind as a hitter, being a pitcher. And the kid puts in so much work. He really does. He's always the first one at the ballpark, usually one of the last to leave. I always see him talking a strategy with Coach Roberts.
as Brody puts a charge into this one into right,
That's a good hit. And,
although Metz puts it away for out number 1.
And it's really fun to see him just from when he got here at the beginning of the summer. After dealing with the wood all season, and coming here and switching over or using a metal, I should say, at Stanford, and then coming over here and using a wood bat. He's just made that quick transition. We've seen that the last couple of days. It's been fun to watch him. He's really put on a show, and the crowd loves him being a second year here.
He has played extremely well for the Kettleers. Is on the year now. It's been 325 is what point streak's telling us.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty impressive, especially with the home runs. You hear the wind blowing out now. It's kind of swirling around out there, but it is blowing out. But it wasn't 2 days ago when he still put one out. So
no,
showing the power.
That one 2 days ago. That thing off the bat. He said I was rounding first. I was sprinting. I said why? I said that thing off the bat was easily gone. He said because I normally don't hit too many home runs out at this park just because it's a bigger park for the Cape League. So it was funny hearing that because we saw him round first, sprinting around, and the ball I think that was out of the ballpark at that time. And he just put 2 good pieces on balls and just putting them in play, hitting it hard. And early in the season those hits weren't falling, but now they're getting through. Now he's putting it in the air, putting it over the fence, doing a little bit of everything.
Tim Susnar reaches with a walk here with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. Pat Dorian coming to the plate now for the Kettleers, another guy who's hit a home run tonight. He and Klein had the 2 home runs in that inning, and he hits this one sharply past a diving Freeman, and that one will get into right field for a base hit, voice crack, as the Kettleers now have 2 men aboard and 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. Now, you started the other day at Falmouth at Fuller Field. That was the 26th of June, looking at my date. So a week ago Sunday. You pitched very well. 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, struck out 5. You took a perfect game into the 5th inning. You've worked both out of the bullpen and from the rotation. Getting the start, Mike Roberts showed a lot of confidence in you, and you certainly delivered. What was working for you there at Fuller Field?
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much, first off. And I think, transition from a reliever to a starter is probably a little easier than going from a starter to a reliever. So I just took my routine out there, into the pen before the game, and told Albie, Albie Wise called a great game, I should say, too. We were on the same page the whole night. I said, let's just work out with the fastball. I said, until they challenge that fastball, let's just keep throwing it both sides of the plate. And that's what we did. We went in on some hitters. We went out on some hitters, a couple of 2-seams mixed in, went up and down, and into the 5th inning, I don't think they'd put up a hit yet, maybe even through the 5th inning. And, it gave me an opportunity to get ahead 0-2, 1-2, and have them guessing with whether I was going to throw a curveball, whether I was going to throw a fastball, and just the fact that we could extend to both sides of the plate also kept them off balance. There was just a couple factors going into it, and it felt really good. I really haven't had that many starts in the last 2 years, and just felt good to go out there and kind of work the same strategy I used in the pen. It was different though, just with non-pressure situations, going out there with a clean slate, and looking forward to the start tomorrow.
You mentioned working out of the bullpen. In your freshman year at Stanford, you tied the most saves by a Stanford freshman since Drew Storen. So obviously made the big leagues, was a top 10 pick in the league. Some pretty impressive company. Do you have a preference as far as which one you prefer, working out of the bullpen or going, from the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, great question. To be honest, I love both of them. It's really tough to tell. In the future, I see myself as a starter, absolutely. So that's always something that gives me the opportunity to, like I said, just play a lot of strategy. I love getting around second, third time in the lineup and playing some head games with the batters. And, just as the summer goes on and the outings get longer and the arm is still conditioned to be a starter, it's going to get more fun. And Coach Roberts' big thing here is work the changeup. Calls it a slip pitch, but ultimately it's a changeup, and really been working on that. It's something out of the pen. You get to use a fastball and a curveball, and you don't have the opportunity to really use a third pitch unless you got it in the bag and it's just as good as your breaking ball. And being a starter, you kind of need that third pitch, and it's just been a lot of fun. Like I said, trying to incorporate that, get better with that, and I ultimately hope to take that back to Stanford.
Well, you mentioned it. Most relievers you see, especially closers, have only 2 pitches, the fastball and then a breaking ball. And you talk about developing a changeup or a slip pitch, as Mike Roberts calls it. Before coming here to the Cape, how was your changeup or a third pitch just in general, and how has it progressed during your time here under Mike Roberts?
Yeah, I mean it's been amazing the difference. Like I said, it's one of those pitches. There's 100 different ways to throw a changeup. You know, there may only be a couple ways to throw a curveball, a slider, but there's 100 ways to throw a changeup, and it's a pitch I've always had. Just like I said, never had the opportunity to use, and I think most relievers could also contest with that and say the same thing. And you know, coming here, we have an opportunity. We have changeup bullpens. We're throwing it in BP. We're throwing it you know, shagging, whatever the case is, and ultimately in the game. And Coach Roberts has been able to work with enough pitchers and make those changes that he knows what works for certain guys and what doesn't. One that comes to mind, he loves to remind us, is Justin Dunn from last year. Justin came in similar situations to me as being a reliever. You know, went back to Boston his junior year, Boston College, and pretty much worked out of the pen until their coach halfway through the season, you know, saw a changeup from Coach Robert, how he explains it, and ultimately switched him to a start. And you know, Justin ended up going 18th overall this year, and just an amazing, you know, transgression based off one pitch that he could develop. And you know, ultimately, I think that's something that all the relievers here hope to do.
As Jason DeLay flies out the center, there's a pitching change for the Gatemen. Tom Cosgrove no longer in the game. It's Ryan Selmer, right-hander out of Maryland, coming on to pitch for the Gatemen now. And Stanford's got a pretty heavy presence here in the Cape League. 3 guys alone on the Kettleers, you, Quinn Brody, and Jackson Klein. What's it like pitching against some of your teammates here? You know, is friendly rivalry, or are you trying to, you know, do they know you any better as far as what your throw, maybe predict you a little bit better?
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I love pitching against teammates. 2 that I can think of are Mikey DeKroger and Matt Winokur up in YD. Personally, I think it's easier. As good as they think they know me, I can still blow whatever I want past them. I mean, at the end of the day, something they may disagree with, but it's already happened. You know, statistic, whatever. So I think it's pretty funny. Also developing the changeup and having an opportunity to throw it against them was hilarious because it's just a pitch that they see all the time in inter squads, or they don't see in inter squads or anything. Didn't know I had it really, and go in there and throw that a couple times. But ultimately, it's pretty funny because they got the best of me second time around. Both of them. You know, I'd argue they were cheap hits, but at the end of the day, they were hits. And so, you know, I got my strikeouts and double plays with them, and ultimately they got their end of it with a couple shallow hits, I'd like to say. And it was pretty fun. And Keith Weisenberg down in Bourne, seen him pitch. It's funny, we had a matchup here earlier in the season. I ended up getting the loss, actually. He got the win. It was pretty funny going head to head with him and seeing all these guys doing well. You know, Quinn and Jack, Matt, Mikey, and Keith. It just, you know, everyone's here with a great opportunity, and they're really capitalizing on it right now.
All right, well, that took us right through the bottom of the 5th inning. That was Colton Hawk, pitcher for the Kettleers, and out of Stanford University, member of the Cardinal baseball team, and also a stud of the game so far this season for the Kettleers. Colton, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
All right, so after 5 full, Cotuit's still on top of the Wareham Gatemen, 7-2. Taylor Lehman still on the mound for the Kettleers. We're going to take a very quick break here as we move to the top of the 6th inning, and we'll be back after these short messages.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Well, I promised a short break, and just like LeBron James, I delivered. Here as we move to the top of the 6th inning, Gavin Sheets come into the plate now for the Gatemen. Kettleers on top of the Gatemen, 7-2, as Taylor Lehman misses outside with the breaking ball. Tall left-hander from Penn State kicks and fires a fastball. This one in at the knees. So 1-1 the count to Sheets. Sheets 1 for 2 tonight. Hit a long home run to right field in a second at bat back in the 4th inning. And he takes ball too high. Count 2-1 now on Sheets. We're joined in the booth now by Cal Becker, Kettleers pitcher out of Sonoma State, a member of the Seawolves, which we had a nice discussion about last time you were in the booth, as the count runs to 3-1. Cal, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Now, you've pitched again since you were in the booth the last time. You got the start you've worked out of the bullpen and out of the rotation, as this one's lined to left, right at Quinn Brody, though, for the first out of the inning. Have you found one to be more effective here? Do you like pitching out of the bullpen? I know I asked the same thing to Colton when he was on, but you've done both. You've been effective with both. Which one do you like more?
For me, I like starting. I like knowing what day I'm going to be pitching each week. I like to gear up my whole workouts and my routine based off of that and build up for one day and then kind of start over from scratch the next week and prepare. But, if Coach Roberts needs me out of the pen, then I have no problem going in there and getting it done for him out of the pen.
And another thing that we've noticed with this Kettleers team is you talk about being a leader and trying to turn things around. Mike Roberts, your coach, talked about resetting the team as this one's flying in the air to right field, moving towards the line is Cal Stevenson. He puts it away for out number 2. Matt Kinney out of Florida State, grad student. He's come in to serve on this Kettleers pitching staff, and now
he's brought a huge value to the bullpen. Just having him and having a presence like Kinney, who already is just a consummate pro. He really kind of takes a lot of the stresses off your back as far as dealing with the kind of the transaction between getting hot and getting warmed up. He mitigates all that communication with Coach Roberts, and he was a pen guy, and he totally understands the little creature comforts that the pitchers need to be successful. So it's really nice having him out there. And I was teammates with him last year, and I can totally tell the difference in his attitude. This year he's so much more of a I just want to see, he looks at the macro perspective, and it's really great to see, and it's awesome.
And we talked about how the Kettleers pitching staff's really turned it around and been a lot more effective. You guys have pitched fantastic the last week, 2 weeks. The whole team is just overall playing so much better. Do you think, is it Kinney coming on that's, allowed everyone to pitch better, or is it just overall you talked about, being a leader and leading by example, or is everyone following into place and now the team kind of getting set into a positive outlook and then also leads to positive performances?
I think it definitely, having Kinney taking a lot of stresses off of when you're supposed to get warmed up, or I think the bullpen is definitely really taken off since Kinney has gotten here. I think the pitching has always been strong for our team, and we've always just kind of been waiting for the offense to kick it into gear. But no, I think that we put together 3 quality games in a row, and we're on a really good pace with where we're at right now, and everyone's kind of buying in. I guess everyone kind of knows who's on the team, who's going to be here, and that builds a lot of comfort.
Today, obviously, Kettleers at home on a Friday night wearing these red jerseys. Are they really as big as everyone says they are? I mean, I looked at Matt Rupenthal down in the bullpen. It looks like he was wearing a dress out there. I mean, honestly, the thing was absolutely enormous. Are the red jerseys bigger than your typical Kettleers jerseys?
Yeah, no question. I'm thinking they just went with the double XL across the board for everyone. But, yeah, I seem to swim in it just fine.
And it also, I'm not going to say matches, but it goes nicely with the camouflage hat. Obviously, these jerseys.
Well, I like to describe the color of this jersey as victory red.
That's a Tiger Woods reference right there.
It is, absolutely.
I love it.
I'm a big fan of Tiger, and he would wear his victory red on Sundays. So I think it's only fitting that we would attribute this color with victory red.
You guys are wearing your victory reds on Fridays today, though.
Victory reds with our camo hats. Definitely feels like we're going to war.
And while Colton was on here earlier in the top of the 5th inning, you were wearing a camouflage bucket hat behind us in the booth.
What is known as a boonie hat?
A boonie hat. Where did you get that, or did you just happen to have it to match the camouflage hats that you guys are wearing?
I really don't know where I found that, but I just picked it up and wanted to see how it felt, and it was real comfortable. I'm definitely planning on wearing it out at our next hitting session, and probably hoping to shag some balls with it, so I get a little bit more of protection on my neck.
Well, our video producers are saying that it is indeed Kevin Condor's, one of our video producers' hat. I mean, you have one of my Livestrongs on. I don't see why you can't just take his hat. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense for me to have it. I think I'm going to be shagging balls tomorrow in the outfield, and the Cape Cod sun exposure can get pretty brutal. So a boonie hat is only fitting.
Without a doubt. I thought it looked really good on you, Cal.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And another thing that we wanted to talk to you about is Hallie Harris, one of our producers, talked about, although this was also with Colton, we wanted to talk some questions that have been asked to some other guys, completely un-baseball related, just so we can get to know you guys better and those listening. As this one gets past Shaver, as Grayson Jenister reaches first to lead things off the bottom of the sixth. What's your guys' favorite late night snack? Somehow Hallie mentioned peanut butter and fluff with nuts for Colton. Fluff for nutters, as they're commonly known here in Massachusetts. What about you, Cal?
Late night snack?
Yeah, it's on the Vanderbilt page. Everyone on Vanderbilt has like 800 things listed about them. Favorite actor, favorite movie, favorite late night snack. Do you know that Alonzo Jones' favorite late night snack's a toasted Pop-Tart?
Toasted Pop-Tart, really?
Yes.
Wow. I pegged him as a cold Pop-Tart kind of guy.
Really, as this one's grounded back up in the middle, flipped towards a covering Girantano, not in time, so the Kettleers have 2 men aboard here to start the bottom of the sixth. You're making everybody laugh here in the booth.
Well, for me, I can't really say one thing to be a late night snack, because I think to be a late night snack would call for a certain craving. So depending on what it is, it could be anything from a quart of ice cream to I don't know, some leftover steak. I just kind of raid the fridge and whatever calls to me.
I totally agree with you right there.
Yeah.
Last night, I went to Boston, played in a softball game for the Nixon Peabody Law Firm there.
Wow.
That's completely besides the point. But coming back, I'm stuck in traffic coming back from Boston onto the Cape, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what I could really use right now? English muffins. So I get home, you know what I make? English muffins.
Now, do you toast and apply butter and honey? What is your go-to?
Butter, toast, butter, jelly.
You're a jelly guy.
I am a jelly guy.
I prefer honey.
Well, I guess we respectfully disagree.
You really got to try that.
I will. You know something? Next time I have that craving for English muffins, I'll apply some honey.
Definitely, but you have to wait until the butter has sufficiently melted across the entire surface of the English muffin.
That's
properly spread.
You don't need even to tell me that. Like, that's obvious.
Well, I've seen the technique done where they just cut the cube and then they throw the other English muffin on top, assuming it would like lightly apply it throughout the entire surface of the muffin. That's nonsense. But I think you need to actually spread it.
You're right. That's absolute nonsense. I don't know where you've seen that before, but clearly they have.
Amateurs.
Exactly. Amateurs. And one of the questions, I forgot to ask it to Colton, but I'm sure his opinion can be chimed in here as he's sitting me on. One of our Twitter followers, Tim Miller, we requested questions out over the air. He wanted to know, what do you guys think of the Kettleers theme song?
The Kettleers theme song?
Hey, hey, Cotuit.
It fires me up.
Fires you up? What about you, Colton?
I hear that song and I just think of Lowell Park, and I think of Coach Roberts dancing along to it, and that just fires me up.
It'll probably be my walkout song at Stanford.
Colton says it'll probably be his walkout song when he comes onto the mound for the Stanford Cardinal. Now, do you think you could come up with like a remix for it or something? Because after a little while, people might get a little sick of it. Do you think you could add a Cal Becker signature touch to it?
Well, I think you got to throw some like Waylon twang in there. I think if you did a little like a little Telecaster, or even jammed in with like a quick little Clapton fill in there a couple of times. I just think it's lacking. It's got a little bit of twang, but just not quite enough.
Are you an avid guitarist?
I am not a guitarist, but I'm an avid fan of guitars.
This one grounded
and guitarists
to second. Tag applied by Freeman to Klein, and the throw on to first in time as well. So the Gatemen turn a 4-3 double play. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And with a runner on third for Alonzo Jones. So the Kettleers have a runner 90 feet away. As you make some sort of gesture. Who's that to?
I'm just really enjoying Coach Roberts go out on the mound here as he's going to interject on the original call of the umpire.
Well, he's a pretty fiery guy. Most of the time he's pretty serious and relaxed, but when he gets angry, we've seen him get angry.
as I would describe, he won't curse. You'll never hear him curse, and at some point you're gonna wish he would curse because the things that he would say so politely are just. I mean, I think he does an excellent job of addressing umpires.
He's got that southern charm, very proper.
He's very direct with his words.
And I love that ripping off the helmet. It was almost like Jim Boeheim from Syracuse when he got angry down at Duke, ripping off the jacket. Or we've seen managers, Lou Piniella taking the hat and throwing it on the ground. If you were a manager, would you have a signature, angry call rip off? Would you, take off those Converse that you wore last time? I like those Converse, by the way.
Thank you. I don't think I would have to do much. I think just my verbiage would speak for itself, and I don't need to go into what I would say to an umpire, but I think the message would be very clear.
As this pitch from Selmer misses downstairs to Alonzo Jones. Jones 2-0, or ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. John Mettis and I, one of the writers, talked to a couple of guys in the bullpen a couple days ago, and as this one's grounded to second, fielded on a hop by Freeman, throw on to first in time for the third out of the inning. This is the last question. We were asked who's the funniest guy on the team, biggest jokesters to hang around. Your name was thrown in there. Would you classify yourself as a jokester?
I'm not sure how to respond to that. I definitely enjoy my free time with the teammates, but when we're in between the lines, I'm pretty serious.
It's all business?
Absolutely.
I like it.
But if I had to peg a jokester on the team, I'd probably go with Mr. Roberson. He's got some excellent dry humor that if you're not right next to him, you'll probably miss it. So you got to pay close attention. But he's very subtle, but he's a very funny guy.
All right. Well, now Cal Becker chimes in, and somehow that garnered some laughs here in the booth. Cal, thanks for joining us. This is going to be, 3 or 4 times you've been up here?
This is my second time, actually.
No, we've had him. I've had him twice.
No.
Oh, well, I'm blanking on this. Well, Cal, all right, one more question. We added a new air conditioner. We don't have the window open and a fan. Have you noticed the difference? Because we certainly have.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm a leave the windows open at night, close them in the morning kind of guy, and then keep it well insulated. But if you're not going to be proactive with that, then the fans will definitely suffice. So good job on you guys with being proactive and keeping this room nice and cool.
All right, Cal, thanks for joining us.
Yep, take care.
You as well. All right, as we move to the top of the 7th inning, that took us all the way through my play-by-play duties. We're back to Jason on play-by-play. That was Colton Hawk and Cal Becker, pitchers for this Kettleers team. We're going to take a very short break once again and be back with the top of the 7th inning.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Welcome back after that short break. I'm Jason Doro, alongside me, Aiden Doyle. Top of the 7th now at Lowell Park. Wareham at the plate. Leading off, it's Harrison Wenson who drills a ball down the third base line into the outfield. He's going to dig for 2. Quinn Brody sends it back in, but not in time. A leadoff double for the Gateman DH.
That one ripped absolutely right down the line past the diving Pat Dorian. It's just trouble. There's a lot of foul ground here at Lowell Park. That one kind of scooted into the foul ground. Long run for Quinn Brody. And even though with a strong throw, not able to get Wenson at second base. So a leadoff double, like you mentioned, for the Gateman's DH.
Now it's the 9-hitter, Nico Giarratano. He's reached twice, once on a walk, once on a single. Got an RBI on that base knock. And now Mike Roberts is going to check on Taylor Lehman, maybe make a call to the bullpen where he has a right-handed pitcher warming. 7-2 the score line. Cotuit currently on top of Wareham and closing in on potentially their 4th victory of the season. Lehman has been spectacular in relief. 3 innings of work, 1 run against him. Just 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. has performed extremely well. It looks like he might be facing a pinch hitter here, actually, with Wenson on first. Or excuse me, no, Giartano it is. I had the wrong number in my scorecard.
Come on, Jason.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
You're just caught off guard by those interviews, which it is fun to have these guys come up.
Oh, yeah.
Every home game, getting players up in the booth. You learn a lot more about them than you typically do just on a player profile on their, listed or on their college's website.
Imagine if the people at home just had to listen to us for 9 innings.
It'd be awful. I can't imagine doing it.
That'd be a tough 3 hours. I gotta tell you. Kettle Talk with John Perez is a good change of pace. Make sure you tune into that 15 minutes before the ball game. But that's usually a couple of the best frames we get when some guys from the bullpen stop by the press box here at Lowell Park.
It is fun. Always entertaining, no matter who's in here. Whether it be Cal Becker and Colton Hawk to Justin Hooper and Josh Robertson like the other day. It is always entertaining when the players come into the booth. I mean, Hooper even wanted to take over play-by-play duties.
I would have given it to him, too. Maybe for a half frame. See where he goes with it. And maybe we can expand upon that. You never know. We found out that perhaps he's shrinking from all the running he's doing. There's all kinds of stuff that we learn about these guys. 1-2. Popped up right side. Genesta under it. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Good movement there by Taylor Lehman on the breaking ball. These gateman hitters having trouble squaring it up. Although Harrison Winston don't rip that double to left. But other than that, Lehman's retired with the exception of that double, he's retired his last 8 batters. And in that case, 8 of his last 9.
That's pretty good. But it appears that he has reached the tipping point for this contest. Mike Roberts out to the mound for the second time this inning, so he'll yank the lefty out of Penn State and bring in a new arm in the 7th. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Cotuit has a new arm on the mound and tries to work through this top of the 7th. Keep it right here. You're listening to Kettleer Baseball.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League, with 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Welcome back to the top of the 7th at Lowell Park. Eddie Mole now on the mound for Cotuit, facing off against the Wareham leadoff man in Joey Bartosik. 1 man on, 1 down. Harrison Wenson led off this frame with a double before Nico Giartano popped out to Grayson Genesta at first. Then Mike Roberts pulled Taylor Lehman from the ball game and replaced him with the righty out of George Washington. Mole's 1-0, low and inside. Count now 2 balls, no strikes. Mole has a 1.68 ERA so far with the Kettleers. Best of any pitcher who has thrown more than 6 innings for Cotuit this summer. Mole has appeared in 6 separate games, 2 starts for him, 10 2/3 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, 7 walks. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike.
Jason, I know you're a big basketball guy, playing club basketball at Northwestern.
Correct.
Big Timberwolves fan. Dwight Howard has just agreed to sign with the Atlanta Hawks.
Good for him.
What does that mean to
He
you?
can go ravage another program, probably. Misses inside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Some harsh words for Mr. Howard.
Well, name me a team that has really thrived with Dwight Howard.
He made the NBA Finals.
You
with the
have
Magic.
one team, the Orlando Magic. Otherwise, Rockets, Lakers, teams that were supposed to be competing for championships with him. Pat Dorian throw on to first off the chopper, and he throws out Bartosik for out number 2.
How good has Pat Dorian looked tonight?
Amazing.
Defensively, looked very good, making diving stops from leaping grabs, strong throws. Offensively, it's only 2 for 3 with a home run and obviously an RBI. So, on that end.
Stud of the game contestant.
Stud of the game contender for sure. I mean, this is another night where
Stud of the game is getting harder and harder every night.
I mean, today I didn't even announce this, or I didn't even announce Wednesday's stud of the game until today because I just was up all night thinking about it.
You had the entire off day to.
It was just back and forth. Pick the name out of a hat, flip the coin to best 2 out of 3, and then be like, no, wait, he did this, and it ended up going to Grayson Genesta out of Wichita State, who had an excellent game on Wednesday night.
Cole Freeman at the plate, 0-1 count, and he's ahead of a breaking pitch. Make it no balls, 2 strikes. Freeman reached in his first 2 at-bats, once on a walk, once on a fielder's choice. Has stolen 3 bases this evening. Harrison Wenson still stuck on second base after his leadoff double. Eddie Mole, by the way, appearing for the 3rd time in 4 games. Or 4 days, excuse me. 3rd time in 3 games with the off day. This time it bounces into Dorian. Hagen fields, throws on to first. Not in time. Pat Dorian will stay in front of the baseball no matter what. But I don't know if anyone sees that hop coming and makes the play.
I was going to say 2 things I want to mention there. 1, good job by Dorian staying in front of it. That would have been an epic play. If that bounces off of Dorian's shoulder, Hagen somehow barehands it and makes a long, strong throw on a first. Obviously not in time. Would have been incredible. 2, that just goes to show you what Eddie Mole means to this team, that stat you mentioned. Coming on as one of the most consistent relievers for this Kettleers team. Right-hander out of the pen, Mike Roberts showing a lot of confidence in him, going to him so many times in so many days, and also his durability, being able to pitch this many innings in such a short period of time.
He didn't throw much against Chatham. Just 1/3 of an inning. Went 1 1/3 against Bourne.
It was 1 pitch, actually.
On Tuesday. 1 pitch. That's all they needed him to get.
But hey, it's still the concept.
They'll take it. He had to warm up in the pen. Still had to throw a fair amount. 0-1 pops out of the glove of delay. Wenson stays at 3rd, but Freeman goes down to 2nd. Alex Destino now facing a 1-1 count.
It's not like if he hadn't gotten him out on 1 pitch, Roberts would have taken him out. He went to him, hey, close out this ball game.
Exactly. He throws him in today in the 7th. So he's probably expecting more than just this frame out of the righty from GW. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul down the first base line.
I have to admit, Jason, all right, question for you here. Back in the first inning, way back in the first inning, before Dorian and Klein homered, and before this was a 7-2 ball game, I started out. The first thing I said tonight on this broadcast was, "Well, they're going out tonight and they've changed into something red." Do you get that reference?
They've what? What? Sorry, changed into something red.
They're going out tonight and they've changed into something red. Talking about the Kettleers, who they're playing in their victory red, as Cal Becker would call them, jerseys tonight.
Jones catches the pop fly and the inning is over. Not 100% sure what you're talking about. I have a hunch, but
what's your hunch?
Feel free to explain.
What's your hunch?
This isn't the Tiger Woods thing again, is it? No.
It's a line from Night Changes by One Direction.
Okay. With that, we'll take a break here at Lowell Park. It's time to stretch. 7-2 Kettleers.
Summer baseball's underway. People get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We gotta cheer for the team we love. The ball's racing down the line. Come on, coach, give them a sign. The runner's waiting, he's ready to steal. The Kettleers are gonna seal the deal. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today. So dock your skiff and take a walk past the coop. It's 5 o'clock. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see a Cotuit home run. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today.
Bottom of the 7th now at Lowell Park. Kettleers looking to add to an already 5-run lead against the Wareham Gatemen. 7-2 the scoreline. And at the plate for Cotuit, Quinn Brody, 5, 6, and 7 due up. Tim Susnara and Pat Dorian to follow, the Kettleers left fielder. On the mound for Bourne, it's Cole Stapler, who's already thrown 1 inning of relief, giving up 1 hit, no runs. The righty winds. Here's his 1-1. Misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. A cloudy day for baseball at Lowell Park. We haven't had any precipitation, though, thankfully. Maintaining a theme that stuck with us all the way through June. Just 1 game rained out in the first month here in the Cape Cod Baseball League season. That was back on June 11th. Otherwise, it's been sunshine and clear skies.
Although it doesn't, it's certainly overcast and cloudy. It doesn't exactly look like. Looks like it could rain, but nothing in the forecast.
Yes. Perhaps some thunderstorms coming later at 9 or 10 o'clock. Brody can't hold up. He strikes out for out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th.
When I was driving out here from Brewster, right about exit 7, so Yarmouth, Hyannis, that area, just started downpouring for about 20 seconds or so. Always interesting, this New England Cape Cod weather. Changes every 5 minutes or so.
Sosnara fouls off the first pitch he sees. Sosnara is 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error in the first, struck out in the third. Then he drew a walk in the 5th inning, and he walks down to first again here, this time on a hit by pitch.
Sosnara, we mentioned being one of the better defensive catchers on this Kettleers team, also getting it done offensively for Cotuit. Coming into this game, he's only batting .250, but he's done a good job getting on base. He's been on base 3 times tonight. Obviously, a walk and a hit by pitch. His OBP coming into this game, .345, which is certainly above average when you look at the team. The team's on base percentage, .289. It's one of the better OBPs on the entire team.
Pat Dorian in now. Checks his swing on a 1-0 pitch that is right over the middle of the plate, moving the count to 1-1. Dorian 2 for 3 tonight. A solo home run in the 4th, a single in the 5th. Grounded out in his first plate appearance. High bouncer, left side, but foul. Let's check in with the rest of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Nobody has moved as far along as we are here in Cotuit. 2 games in the 4th inning. Falmouth and Bourne, they're tied up at 1. YD and Harwich are still scoreless in the top of the 4th frame. And then 2 ball games are still in the top of the 1st. Hyannis and Chatham. Harbor Hawks up 1-0 on the road against the Anglers. The Whitecaps leading 1-0 at Orleans. Dorian swings over a curveball, and he strikes out for the 2nd out.
Beautiful curveball there by Cole Stapler. Down and into a left-handed batter. Very tough pitch to hit. Swung right over it, and now Jason DeLay, righty-righty matchup. That's much easier for a right-hander to hit if you leave it up like that. For a left-hander, just buried in the top of their shoes.
Sosnara jumping off of first with a small lead as DeLay takes ball 1 inside. DeLay is 2 for 3, couple of singles. Those base knocks coming in the 2nd and 4th frames. He scored in both of them. Flew out to center field in the 5th. And this one he hits on the screws to left field. It's his 3rd single of the day. Cotuit generating some offense with 2 down. And Ryan Hagen coming to the plate.
Jason DeLay, when he came into this game, or into this season for the Kettleers, when he was added to the roster, the report on him, excellent defensive catcher, struggles a bit with the bat, at least he did for Vanderbilt. 3 for 4 tonight. I don't see any struggles.
Well, he batted just a bit above 240 with Vandy this season. Had 17 runs, 10 doubles. Hagen takes strike 1. And he was just drafted in the 11th round of the 2016 draft by the San Francisco Giants. So you know the guy can play. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, and it's also in there. Count now 0-2. Kettleers and Gateman will do it all over again tomorrow. Except they'll be up at Spillane Field for a 6:30 p.m. first pitch. 0-2 offering. Hit on the ground left side. Grand Prix comes in. Takes his time. Shoots it over to first for out number 3. No runs for Cotuit in the 7th. On 1 hit, no errors. 2 men left on. It's a 5-run edge. Kettleers leading the Gatemen 7-2 as we head to the 8th at Lowell Park.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamping. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Top of the 8th at Lowell Park, and the Kettleers hold a 7-2 edge on the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham sends the heart of the order, 4, 5, and 6 to the plate here. Colton Shaver, Gavin Sheets, Robert Metz due up to face off against Eddie Mole. Mole came in last inning, got the Kettleers out of the 7th. First pitch swinging is Shaver, and he bounces it foul down the left field line.
Kettleers have done a good job keeping Colton Shaver in check today. 0 for 3 on the night with a strikeout. He's hit the ball in the air twice. But even with the wind blowing out here at Lowell Park, they've kept them in the ballpark.
We mentioned that he went 4 for 4 last time Wareham faced Cotuit. Had a double and a home run. Has 6 extra base hits on the season and 15 RBI. He does strike out at a fairly high clip, though. 18 strikeouts and 53 at-bats. 1-2 the count for the Gateman catcher. Cotuit playing very deep in the infield. Here's a pitch. Again, Shaver on top of it and bounces it foul. Still a good crowd out here at Lowell Park, taking in some Cape Cod Baseball League action on Friday night. Wind continues to blow out to center field. Definitely some stronger gusts as the night has moved on. 1-2 pitch. Misses off the plate. Good spot for Mole. Evens the count at 2-2.
That was a good spot. That one just missed off the outer edge of the plate. And when you're Mole, you're ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You don't need to, put one over the zone. You can miss outside. That was a good miss by the right-hander.
2-2 pitch. Tapped foul. Shaver gets a small piece and stays alive.
Especially with somebody like Shaver up, who we know can do damage with the bat. You don't want to do or give him, a good pitch to hit, especially when you're ahead in the count like that.
Righty versus righty matchup to start off the 8th. Mole at the belt. Here's his 2-2. Shaver again battling it off. Inside fastballs. Count still at 2-2. Kettleers, if they can maintain this edge, will move to 4-14 on the season. Wareham would drop to 9-8-1. Moles 2-2. Blasted to left field. Shaver knows that this one has a very good chance, and it's gone. A solo shot for Wareham to start off the 8th. And they draw within 4. The score now 7-3.
Well, breaking ball there from Eddie Mole. Shaver a bit out in front of it, actually, but keeps it just fair. That one hooking towards the left field foul pole. It was a question of, distance-wise, it was always going to be gone. It was a question of whether or not it stayed fair. And it does. Colton Schaefer continuing to do damage against this Kettleers team.
He was quiet until that at-bat. Now 1 for 4 on the night. Gavin Sheets due up next. The other Gateman who has a solo home run tonight. Sheets is 1 for 3. Also has a ground out to first base and a line out to left field. Mole from the stretch, his first pitch. Fastball hit off the end of the bat, foul. Bourne is still atop the West Division, just in front of Wareham. Falmouth smack dab in the middle at 9 and 8. Hyannis in 4th place at 7 and 10, and then Cotuit currently trailing at the bottom of the West. 0-2 count, Mole ahead. Kettleers definitely have a chance to make up some ground this week, given that they have 2 games against Wareham, 2 games against Falmouth, and then a game against Hyannis this upcoming Wednesday. Lots of baseball to be played. Moles 1 and 2. Chop toward the Kettleer dugout. And these Gatemen are making Mole throw a lot of pitches here in the 8th.
You mentioned how much baseball there is to be played. Getting off to a 1-12 start, obviously not ideal for any team. But these Kettleers knew how much time was left in this season, and with so many games left against Western Division opponents, think about it, 4 of the 5 teams in each division make the playoffs.
And from there,
anything can happen.
You never know.
Look at last year. The Orleans Firebirds had far and away the best record, not only in their Eastern Division, but in all of the Cape League, far and away. They had 2 kids, their 3 and 4 hitters, Kyle Lewis, who went 11th overall this year, and Bobby Dahlbeck, who was on the runner-up in the College World Series team. Big power guy.
They went 31-12-1.
They were incredible. They didn't win the championship. They lost. They didn't even make the finals. They lost to the Whitey Red Sox,
who went 500 in the regular season.
Anything can happen when you make the playoffs. And I know, obviously, the Kettleers striving for the best record in the West, but it's just about playing better baseball, and they're doing that right now with so many games left against Western Division opponents and just so many games left in general. Anybody who thought it was time to hit the panic button if you were Mike Roberts earlier in the season, just a few games ago, you're wrong.
Robbie Metz at the plate. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Speaking of Mets, they beat the Chicago Cubs last night. I had the chance to check out Citi Field. Pretty cool ballpark. Wouldn't you agree?
I enjoy Citi Field a lot, even as a Yankees fan. Citi Field's a very nice ballpark.
Me and my friends did the doubleheader, go down to Yankee Stadium for a day game and then go up to Citi Field to see the Mets take on the Cubs. It's a long trip, and I think I'd definitely take Citi Field over the new Yankee Stadium.
Now, when did you leave New York? This morning or after the Mets game last night?
After the Mets game.
A long
Back
day.
on Cape Cod around, we'll just say late at night.
Or early in the morning.
1-2, a called strike 3 on the outer edge. Mets rung up. That's the first out of the inning.
Great pitch there by Eddie Mole, painting the outside corner to get Mets looking. He's done a good job not serving him right down the middle of the plate. Good job either leaving it out of the zone or painting the corners, and that was a prime example of it right there. Even the home run that Shaver hit was still a pretty good pitch. Shaver just able to pull it down the line, and just a great hitter.
Here's a nubber down the third base line off the bat of Grand Prix. Just rolls foul. Grand Prix is 0 for 3. Strikeout in the second, ground out to first in the fourth, and then a fly out to right field in the sixth.
My question is, how has, well, actually they may have, we just don't know, how has no one named him or nicknamed him Monaco or something like that, or Formula One? Even Lewis Hamilton, who won this year's Monaco Grand Prix, just, it's sitting there waiting for you. I would call him Monaco. Maybe he doesn't like it. The world may never know. We'll have to talk to him after the game or something. I mean,
Now, what I do know about Preston Grand Prix, after talking with one of my roommates at school who also happened to be the broadcaster for the Wareham Gatemen last season, when Preston Grand Prix played with the Gatemen last year, he told him that he always wears the long sleeves because he thinks it makes him a less intimidating player. And he thinks that opponents, pitchers, will underestimate him with the long sleeves, and he wears them no matter what the weather is. It looked right in place when Cal came to Northwestern this spring, and it was still 60 degrees in May. But apparently, even in the hot, humid days that they get in California, he'll keep the long sleeves on.
is it always the navy blue? That's interesting.
Well, Cal, I'm sure they can outfit him with some other, perhaps, shiny gold sleeves, something else that goes with that Golden Bears look. I don't know.
He's originally from, voice crack again. He's originally from Laguna Beach, California. Goes to Cal Berkeley. And it's not like Wareham's, the Great White North or anything. It's pretty hot here on the Cape sometimes during the summer. That's really an interesting fact.
At least that's what Eric told me. So it was live on a broadcast. I don't think he was kidding around. They also, that Cal team, when they came to Evanston this spring, they had a center fielder wearing a balaclava during the game. It was 60 degrees, maybe 70. Pretty hot day. And you're wondering what I'm talking about, aren't you?
I have no idea what that is.
It's like a neck warmer that you wear when you go skiing that covers your face and everything.
Why is it called a balaclava?
Good question.
But now that I know I don't know why people do the things they do.
Pop up shallow right center field. Alonzo Jones out, and he makes the catch for out number 2. You'll see baseball players wear them in the MLB and whatnot, perhaps when we hit October and playoff time.
So like in the world, it's sometimes they go over the head a bit too. It's like kind of like
a
that
thin
could
function
Under
the same
Armour.
well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now I know what you're talking. That's interesting. You want to know?
I'm telling you, the sun was out. It was 65 degrees, and one of the Cal Golden Bears had the balaclava on in center field. I was blown away.
The things you'll see. Just sports are strange. That is for sure.
I hope it cools off in late July for one day, and I'm going to ask Preston Grand Prix about that. Harrison Wenson at the plate, 2 down, 1-0 count for the Gateman DH who had a double in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Eddie Moles 1-0, fouled straight to the backstop.
You know what else today is, other than obviously July 1st?
What would it be?
Today's the day that Bobby Bonilla gets paid by the New York Mets. Still
Great
being
story.
paid. He has not played since Bill Clinton was president. And because of the deferred money in the contract, Bobby Bonilla paid $1.2 million this season by the New York Mets. And in case you're wondering, Jacob deGrom makes $607,000. Noah Syndergaard makes $535,000, and Steven Matz makes $515,000. So,
do you want to explain that full story with Bonilla? He gets paid that until like 2035 or something.
You've got the year right. Bobby Bonilla was a former Major League Baseball player. Every July 1st through 2035, the Mets owe him technically $1.19 million.
He's a smart man.
He is a smart man because of the deferred money deal that he signed with the Mets. They owed Bonilla $5.9 million for the 2000 season when he was with the Mets. But he wasn't playing well, so they no longer wanted him. So they agreed with Bonilla and his agent that they wanted to defer the money and they would attach an 8% interest rate. So every July 1st, as this one's a grounded foul, they owe him the money. And so the total, with the clock starting in the year 2000, adds up to $29.8 million.
I have a feeling he might be losing some cash on inflation, but I still think that's a great plan. You hear about professional athletes going broke. That's never going to happen with Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah. He could spend $1.2 million this year. he's getting another 1.2 next year. Here's a question. I wonder if he has any supplemental income, besides that check that he just uses.
He doesn't need to.
Well, if he uses that to support himself, technically, in this age of athletes spending money irresponsibly, he could potentially spend $1.2 million today and just be fine.
I have a feeling, though, if he made that decision to take money for the next 40 years, he probably doesn't fall under that same umbrella.
Probably had no plans of getting a second job.
Exactly.
You know what else it is, Jason? 2s across the board.
2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Top of the 8th at Lowell Park. Moles pitch for Harrison Wenson. Popped up in the infield. Alonzo Jones on the right side. Calls everybody off. Puts it away. That's it for Wareham in the 8th. They get 1 run on the Colton Shaver solo shot to left field. 2 hits in the inning. No errors, 1 man left on. 7-3, Cotuit leads Wareham. We're through 7.5 at Lowell Park, and we'll take a quick break for these messages.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Bottom of the 8th now at Lowell Park. Kettleers back at the plate. Top of the order due up. Grayson Genista, Jackson Klein, Cal Stevenson to bat here. Genista gets a hold of one, but rips it foul down the first base line. Genista today is 0 for 3. He struck out twice, grounded out to second base once, and walked in the 6th. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Genista set down for out number 1.
Genista having a rough day at the plate so far, but the rest of the team has picked him up. This is what we've talked about with this Kettleers team. It seemed like one guy was having a good day or one guy's having a bad day. No one would be there behind him to pick him up, especially if it was the pitcher. The offense really wasn't supporting some of these pitching performances that we saw by the Kettleers starters especially. Tonight, Genista, the leadoff man, like I mentioned, 0 for 4 with a walk. The rest of the team, 11 hits and 7 runs. Very different Kettleers team that we're seeing, not only tonight, but the last 3 games or so.
And now Jackson Klein pokes one into left center field for a 1-out base knock.
Jackson Klein, 4 for 5 tonight, home run, 2 RBIs. In a 2-run home run the last game in the win over Chatham. You want to talk about a guy, in my mind, who's probably been the spark plug of this team so far? Playing consistently excellent defense in the outfield. Center, right, left, wherever you put him. Hitting the ball not only for average, but out of the park, and then just getting on base. Coming into this game, his on-base percentage, .381. Billy Bean and Moneyball would love that. Nothing like a .381 on-base percentage.
Great numbers out of Cotuit's two-hitter. Cal Stevenson at the plate, facing an 0-1 count. I was thinking about this the other day, Aiden, as Stevenson rips one through the hole on the left side. Back-to-back singles for Cotuit. Kettleers looking to add some insurance here in the 8th. Already leading by 4 runs. As I was saying, though, I was trying to think of a case this season where the Kettleers have had double-digit hits in one ball game. Off the top of your head, can you name me one?
I don't remember one.
I think this might be the first.
Even in the win
against Chatham, they did not have. They had more runs than hits.
I'll look back through the scorecard.
Love it. Love when we get to digging through the scorecard in the press box. Alonzo Jones at the plate. He has an 0-1 count. Today he's 1 for 4. An RBI single in the first and a run scored. He'd pop out to left in the third and then ground out a couple of times. Grand Prix in at third base. Middle infield playing regular depth. Jones swings through a breaking pitch. Now the count 0-2. I don't think you're going to find one. I hear a lot of page flipping.
We've had a 9 and an 8 and a couple 7s. Another 9 here.
Swing and a miss. Jones set down. Now 2 away in the 8th. Quinn Brody coming back to the plate.
Couple more 8s.
That really stands out to you when you see the 2 digits in the hits column. Today, the Kettleers 13, 7 runs scored. On the other side, Wareham has 3 runs on 7 hits.
Going all the way back, I changed scorebooks after the first game, but so from the last time the Kettleers played Wareham on June 12th through today, they had never gotten more than 9 hits in a game. No double-digit hit games.
I don't think they had double-digit hits in the first game either against Harwich.
I don't believe they did.
So the first one is tonight. Brody flies out to center. Cotuit done at the plate in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left on. Kettleers look to shut it down and get their 4th victory of the season. On the other side of this break, you're locked in to Kettleers baseball.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamping. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Alec Bird takes to the rubber, holding a perfect ERA on the season. He's given up no runs in 5 1/3 innings of work, and Mike Roberts will tab him with the duty of closing this ball game out for Cotuit. 7-3 the score as we head to the top of the ninth. 9-1 and 2 in the gateman order due up, starting with Nico Giratano. Giratano today, 1 for 2. Walked in the 3rd inning, had an RBI single in the 4th, popped out to first base in the 7th. 2 ball, no strike count. Here's the pitch from Bird. Takes something off, finds the zone, the count 2-1. Bird, a lefty out of Miami Shores, Florida, plays his college ball with the Seminoles of Florida State. Stands 6'3", 175. 2-1 offering. On the low and outside corner, even at 2-2. Giratano to be followed by Joey Bartosik, Cole Freeman, Alex Destino. Gateman will need at least 4 runs here in the 9th. 2-2 blocked by the catcher delay. Tonight marks the first of a stretch of 6 games in 6 days for Cotuit. Wareham tomorrow on the road, then a home-and-home with Falmouth before a trip to Chatham and another home game against Hyannis. Bird misses upstairs and walks Giratano to start off the 9th.
Alec Bird, since getting here to Cotuit, has been phenomenal out of this Kettleers bullpen. Left-handed pitcher, coming Florida State. And Mike Roberts talked about pitchers he's had come out of Florida State and Tallahassee, come here to the Cape League. Says they may not have the best stuff. There have been pitchers with better stuff, but every single one of them is an intelligent pitcher who knows how to pitch, knows how to get around situations, knows how to handle certain situations, knows how to come into games with runners on base and work through it. And Alec Bird has done just that. He's shown some pretty good stuff in the meantime, but every time Mike Roberts talks about the quality of pitchers he gets from Florida State.
Joey Bartosik digging in and fouling off that last pitch from Bird. Bartosik is 0 for 4. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. And Bird actually led that Florida State roster in ERA. At least among pitchers who threw enough innings to qualify statistically. Bird held a 2.2 ERA and a 1-0 record, made 28 appearances, all of them out of the bullpen. 32 strikeouts and 32 2/3 innings of work. This ball chopped left side. Hagen backhands, throws to second. Jones is there to step on the bag for out number 1. No relay throw because that was a very tough play for the Cotuit shortstop.
That was an excellent play. That's got to go underappreciated. And Jason, you undersold that play by Ryan Hagen. Backhanding that deep in the hole, once again throwing off balance to second. That's a long throw in of itself. To get Giratano in time, showing once again the quick hands. That's a very tough play and very well executed by Ryan Hagen.
I said very tough play. I think, though,
you undersold
I
it.
think Ryan Hagen has kind of lulled me into the point where we just expect this out of him. Deep drive left center field off the bat of Cole Freeman. Back to the wall goes Quinn Brody. Rounding second, down to third is Julie Bartosik, and Cole Freeman is in with a stand-up double. Wareham has a threat going in the 9th with just 1 down.
Well hit there to left field, and now Wareham obviously 2 runners in scoring position. Even if Destino hits a home run here, still a 1-run game, so Cotuit would still be leading. But the double play is not in order, so not exactly what you want. If you wanted to give up a hit, obviously a single is what ideally you'd have there. But that's the first really well-hit ball we've seen off of Alec Bird so far this season.
First pitch curveball from Alec Bird misses off the plate for Alex Destino. Destino is 0 for 2, walked in the first and third innings, popped out in the fifth and seventh.
And this is where that composure, calmness, pitchability, workability, whatever you want to call it, comes into play. 1 down, 2 runners in scoring position, number 3 hitter up. Here's the ball, Alec Bird. Work out of it.
2-0 off the end of the bat. And into the bleachers down the third base line.
Almost nice play there by a gentleman in a lime green shirt and a straw hat. I almost feel like saying the Curious George, the man in the yellow hat. It's the man in the lime green shirt. Love Curious George. Were you a Curious George fan, Jason?
I was. Still am.
All the cool people are.
2 ball, 2 strike count for Alex Destino. Bird looking in for his sign from Jason DeLay. He's got it, checks third, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Filthy pitch from Alec Bird. Had Destino fooled, caught the inside corner, and now Wareham is down to their final out.
Pitchability plus stuff equals that pitch from Alec Bird. 1 down, 2 runners on. Striked out the number 3 hitter looking on a nasty breaking ball.
Colton Shaver up, and he cuts at a low fastball for strike 1. Shaver is 1 for 4, homered in his last at-bat to left field.
And just like Rookie of the Year, we got the big bopper here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. And this is a situation. This is prime show us what you're made of Alec Bird here. And so far, in the situations he's been in prior, he's done fantastic.
And Mike Roberts isn't going to mess around here. He walks out to the mound to talk with DeLay and Bird. There's a right-hander warming in the Cotuit bullpen. A sidewinder. Looks like it might be Ryan Rigby getting ready. So here's the situation. Cotuit up 4 runs, top of the 9th at Lowell Park. Wareham down to their final out, but they have men on second and third. Colton Shaver, definitely their most powerful hitter at the plate. And another good bat, Gavin Sheets, waiting on deck and representing the tying run. Alec Bird on the hill for Cotuit. Entered in the 9th. 0-1 pitch. Fastball high and tight, count even at 1s. Bird working from the stretch. Here's his 1-1. This time the fastball tails away from the plate. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners on the base paths don't matter for Cotuit right now. Infield playing deep all around. Just looking to get Shaver out and end this ball game. 2-1 offering. Hit high in the air to left center field. Colton Shaver has put a charge into this baseball, and he's got his 2nd home run of the night. A 3-run shot into the night that makes this a 1-run ball game at 7-6.
Wow. That ball absolutely crushed by Colton Shaver. Very different from his first home run of the night. First one just kind of reached out and pulled a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate and ripped it down the line. That one caught too much of the plate from Alec Bird. Kind of right over the middle, hung there, and Shaver drove it out into left center field about halfway up the trees there, just to the left of the flagpole and the scoreboard. And now it's only a 1-run game.
Gavin Sheets at the plate. First pitch called for a strike. And you have to imagine that Mike Roberts went out to the mound to address that exact issue. Won a curveball in the dirt. Because Shaver's a right-handed hitter, he probably had the right-handed warming Rigby in the bullpen because you could throw him out there to face Shaver or another right-handed hitter. Sheets swings over the breaking ball. Now it's 1-2. But at the same time, Roberts knew that no matter what Shaver did, he'd still have a 1-run lead And a lefty coming to the plate to face Alec Bird. Bird's 1-2. Another breaking ball, misses this time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases have been emptied in the top of the 9th. Gavin Sheets, the potential tying run at the plate for Wareham. Cotuit looking for back-to-back victories. Here's Alec Bird's 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. Bird gives up a trio of runs in the 9th, but then he fans Sheets to finish off the victory for Cotuit. They take it 7-6 behind 13 hits, and they get back-to-back wins for the first time this season.
Well, they made it a bit more nerve-wracking than I'm sure Mike Roberts would have liked there at the end. But overall, an excellent performance by the Cotuit Kettleers tonight. 13 hits, 7 runs, no errors. Another good start out of Keith Regala. Jackson Klein, what a performance. Pat Dorian, what a performance. You could just go through basically the entire lineup. They all looked good tonight for the most part. And good defense in the field as well. No errors, no misplayed balls. Nothing that could have gone as an error but didn't. Just a very solid, complete game by the Cotuit Kettleers tonight.
And although Cotuit probably felt like they were winning this ball game by more, for the first time this season, Mike Roberts and the Kettleers can say that they are the victors in a one-run ball game. They were 0-6 in one-run contests until tonight. Finally, they kick that trend to get their 4th win of the season, moving to 4-14. Wareham, on the other hand, drops to 9-8-1 on the year. 8-13 hits for Cotuit. The Bats have turned around. They put up 8 runs in their last outing, 7 today. Definitely their best stretch at the plate this entire season. What have you seen that's changed offensively?
They were hitting the ball hard earlier in the season. I think it's the timely hitting and stringing things together. Jackson Klein hitting the ball out of the park is great. It is. It's fantastic. Pat Dorian hitting the ball out of the park is great. Both of those home runs, with the exception of, Dorian's solo shot, Klein's 2-run shot, they still put up 4 runs on the board without those home runs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the getting a single, moving the guy over however it may be, Quinn Brody taking the extra base in the first inning, recognizing that throw into third base was going to got away a bit from Dupree, or Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. Yeah.
The fantastic name. It's just awesome name. And getting to second so that on the error by Sasnara, or not on Sasnara, when Sasnara was up, the error by the third baseman in Grand Prix, the throw, Brody was able to score. It's things like that. Playing the game intelligently. They have the talent. That's not the question. It's a matter of putting it all together. And that's what they're doing right now, and that's why they've won 2 in a row and have won 3 of their last 5.
We saw that on display tonight, a terrific offensive performance and a real team pitching effort. Keith Regala, 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run against him. Taylor Lehman, 3 1/3 frames, 3 hits, just 1 run. Eddie Mole, 1 2/3, just 3 hits and 1 run. And then Alec Bird has his first outing of the night where he encountered any kind of trouble, and he's still able to shut the door and get Cotuit the win. Aiden, any more final thoughts for this ball game?
What a performance by the Kettleers. The Gatemen will get another chance at them tomorrow night at Spillane Field in Wareham, their home park. So it'll be interesting to see how the Gatemen bounce back and the Kettleers, how they respond going to Spillane Field for the second time tonight. Just a nice win for Cotuit tonight.
We'll see tomorrow night if Cotuit can stretch it out to a 3-game winning streak. 6:30 p.m. first pitch at Spillane Field in Wareham. Join us at 6:15 for the pregame show, Kettle Talk. That'll do it for us tonight from Lowell Park. For John Perez, our field reporter, for our entire media team here in Cotuit, as well as my broadcast partner, Aiden Doyle, I'm Jason Doro signing off at Lowell Park. Again, our final score this evening, the Cotuit Kettleers 7, the Wareham Gatemen 6. Have a very pleasant evening.
baseball's underway. People get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We gotta cheer for the team we love. The ball's racing down the line. Come on, coach, give them a sign. The runner's waiting, he's ready to steal. The Kettleers are gonna seal the deal. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see a Cotuit home run. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win too.